Hey, good evening, everybody. What's happening, everybody? Hey, 7 years ago, October 24th, 2018, a kid from Brooklyn, you know it, that's me, sat down in front of a microphone with one mission: give all sports fair coverage, no narratives, no agendas, no hot takes, just the truth, just the game, just real sports talk for real sports fans. You know what I'm saying? So 500 episodes later, here we are, still standing, still building, still growing. And tonight, Chasers Nation, we celebrate episode 500. That's right, the right way. And on the eve of what? Draft week, the NFL draft week with the best in the game sitting across us, and that's Gridiron Apex, man. And also, but we're not here to celebrate long. We're here to work too. The 2026 NFL draft is 1 week away. That's right. And before Roger Goodell steps to the podium, we are breaking it all down tonight. Draft smoke versus draft reality. Let's get it in. Let's go.
This is Sports Chasers, where real fans get real sports talk. No hot takes, no narratives, just objective perspective, honest debate, and everything happening across the sports landscape. Now, let's join the chase.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's good? What's happening, everybody? It's another edition of the Sports Chasers. Not just on only edition, it's our 500th episode. 2018, we've been doing this thing, man. I'm very grateful to what we have accomplished, what we have done, and how we have stuck around and been around, man. So, I appreciate all of those that have been hanging out with us. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that, man. But we're going to get into all the festivities in a little bit, but let's just do what we do. Make sure you like, click, and subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit the bells for all the wonderful notifications. And those that listen to us on the podcasting side, you know what to do. Give us that 5-star review. 1, 2, 3, 4. What? 5-star review. Love us or hate us. Let us know how we're doing, as you so eloquently have been doing. Hey, we're still in the top 15 in sports news for the Sports Chasers on Apple and Spotify, man. Huge deal, big deal, man. Hey, let's meet the crew. We got only one crew member with us. D-Dubs, good evening, sir. How are you tonight, sir?
Yo, loving life, man. Good to be here, man. Thursday night. Hey, we got a special guest, man. Yo, we love it, man.
Yeah, on our 500 episode, dog. You know.
Yeah, I like the Apex. I like that.
I like that. I'm gonna ask them, get into it too, man. You know, they're friends. They're guests, but they friends guests. You know what I'm saying? You know,
yeah.
Leave the door open for those friends. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate those. Appreciate those in the comments. Thank you for those in the comments. Got Finance, of course, in the comments. Got, I believe, Jack in the comments. Thank you so much. Appreciate those and all those that are coming in the comments. Shout out to our crew. Before we go on, just shout out to our crew, man. To the DA, man. DA probably be on. I think he says he's still at work. The Angry One, to Dan, to Ryan, to Alvin, man. Yo, man, I appreciate you guys. And of course, my main man right here, D-Dubs, my brother, man. How we've been grinding this out. And, 7.5 years ago, man, I didn't know what to expect, man. I went from this USB microphone I had on my Mac until, I got a whole rig and set up at the crib now. So, you too, man. So, your thoughts, man, real quick before we jump into the draft, man.
Yeah, man, we had, we started this, what they say, what's your why? My why was, I'm so sick of ESPN and the rest of everybody lying, agendas and all this other stuff, man. That was my why. And here we go. And, we keep on rocking, doing what we do, loving what we do. So, hey, man, it's been good, man, figuring out, how to make this work. So, it's good.
And it's been fun doing it too, man.
Man.
Fun. It's definitely been fun, man. So, hey, let's not belabor the point, man. Hey, the 2026 draft is going on next week. And as I said in my intro, hey, Roger Goodell will be walking onto the podium next week around this time, man, and introducing the first pick.
Where you going? Pittsburgh,
man. It's going to be bananas there. Pittsburgh is such a great football city, man. So I'm hyped for it. I'm great for it, man. But let's get into it, man. Hey, like I said, man, when we talk about NFL draft analysis, real draft analysis, not the surface level stuff on Twitter, there are only a handful of voices that do it with the precision and depth that the real football people respect. Our guests tonight are part of that conversation, from scouting reports to breakdown to film study. They bring it all. They are the Gridiron Apex, and leading the charge is a man who knows this draft like he built the board himself, Mr. Danté. Also, he got his main man, Papa Sora. Sora is my hero, I always say. And, I'm glad that these guys are here tonight. Let me bring them in here. Where's
Good
my
dudes.
thing? Good dudes, man. So let me bring them in here tonight. What's up, fellas? What's going on, man?
There you go.
Gridiron Apex, man. What's up?
Hey, what's happening, man?
That's dope.
I'm happy that we get to kind of welcome in your 500th episode.
Yeah, I know.
I wouldn't have it any other way because I'm selfish like that. But
Hey,
no,
man.
I'm glad the relationship that we built over the years, man. Kev, thank you for reaching out to me originally and extending an olive branch. I think it's important to collaborate with as many people as you can, and for you guys, most importantly, you guys talk about it all. You guys have your knowledge in every single sport that's out there, but it's always humbling when somebody's like, yeah, these guys are just on a different level, and that's what we want to be. We want to be that team, that crew that's on a different level. And I mean, you see us, we're out in the field doing this, we're doing it all, man. So but definitely appreciate you welcoming us as a guest on your 500 episode. Is super humbling, and we're glad to be a part of your journey, most importantly.
Listen, I'll say this, and I know I want to get into football. Two things real quick. You guys, I would say the sports chasers, like when you go to the doctor, right? We're the primary care physician, right?
In general.
We'll give it to you all, man. So, but if you need a specialist, I said, hey, I gotta get Gridiron Apex on here, man, because these guys break down film, watch film, they do it. Y'all guys do it all. And Danté, I also saw a couple weeks ago where it looks like somebody, and this happened to us. Looks like somewhere in legacy media, man, they biting your style or biting some of your content, and you know that they are. And you're like, man, I just came up with that last night.
Shout out to Lance Zerline for
Yeah.
and then getting the smoke too. Like, he's been getting the smoke from even a couple of our buddies too. And it's like, you barked up the wrong tree, man. I don't care about your 100K followers on.
Yeah.
Nah, man, stop stealing. Get your own original thought, bro. It's just that, man. So
Yo, cats be fishing, bro. You gotta understand, cats be fishing, man. And they sit out there on that boat for a long time, and they be scrolling, going through the net, and just fishing.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
These guys got a nice production here. Okay, let me see what they talking about, man. So
they won't holler at you though. They say,
no.
No, they don't.
You know what I'm saying? They won't give me a call. Give me a call, man. Stop being like that, dog.
And to be honest, D-Dubs, I look at it like this. From being very humbled, like going out there being, I guess they call us new media. That's the term for us smaller guys. Like, oh, you guys are new media, right?
Oh, you just podcasters, you're YouTubers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the other one. I'm like, where does it?
You just YouTubers.
Where does it say podcast in our name? I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we evolved.
Let's just pull up the credentials real quick,
Yeah. Oh, they're right there.
They're hung up on the wall right over there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you're right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But these are the type of dudes too. Like we tell everybody, you see these guys walking up and down the sideline, talking to each other, and then that night you see like this extravagant report that they wrote. And it's like y'all weren't even paying attention. While I'm in the stands with a notepad and everything, like watching everything.
Yeah.
It's the whole media landscape is just about, I'm gonna hire somebody else to do what I couldn't do, and I'm gonna fake the funk.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not down for that. Like,
no,
I don't care. If you send an olive branch, I'm gonna take it. Just like I like to collaborate. If anybody reaches out, I don't care how big, how small their podcast is. You guys seen it over the last couple of weeks. People have been now just like, yo, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. I never really turn down an opportunity to collaborate with somebody unless and I've been honest with some people. I just don't believe in the things that you say or the things that you do. So I'm respectfully pass on the obligation. I've only had to do that maybe once or twice. But outside of that, man, like it's about growing together. And if I can help you be a better, if I'm that source to help you be better at watching football and to have a little bit of knowledge, I mean, you guys know us for years.
Yes.
How many times have we hit on things like, and it's just been back to back to back to back to back. But most people in the comment section, they'll have every time that we're wrong. But I always say, what about the long list of times that we were right?
Yo, you ain't gotta tell me. I already know. Yeah, that's just on my professional side of what I do. So, yeah, they'll tell you 100 bad things, a million bad things. Never report the good things. But that's no here nor there. I'll get that reward later. So I'm not even worried about it. But it's gonna
Hey,
come.
shout out to Shador Sanders, right?
I was
Oh.
gonna say our recent one has been Shador, and it's also crazy too because they'll try to twist it as well to where it's like, oh no, you were fully wrong, like with the whole Bijan Robinson thing, where it was like, yeah, just the knock is that just that heat map on the left side is cold, and they're like, oh well, that's clearly you saying that he's a bad running back. No, do we need to pull up the Bijan Robinson Ashton Genty poll that we did?
Yeah,
which that was wild results. That was
wild.
Wow. Gotcha. Well, let's start off, Danté, and Sora. So let's get down to this quarterback class first. That's what I want to concentrate real first. Who's your true QB1 in this draft, man? Who y'all got on the board?
Ty Simpson.
Yep.
Ty Simpson. And I think me and Sora are different on number 2 spot, if I remember right, because I have Drew Aller. I think didn't you have Fernando in your number 2?
I'm pulling it up right now, but I believe it is. I had Fernando there, and then I had Drew at 3.
But I think it's like with us, it's like Ty Simpson and then everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody in the national media is like it's Fernando and everybody else, and I'm like, I don't really understand the vitriol to Ty Simpson. I really don't. I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Look at the body of work that this guy put together. And what's the one thing we always hear year to year? I don't want the guy that had the easy road because he comes in the NFL and he don't get his chops busted, right? Like,
right.
I want the guy that's been through something. I want the guy that has that put the team on the back, carry mentality. Fernando didn't do that. I remember Fernando having a number 6 offense. I remember having the number 8 offense or number 8 defense. I remember his team only having 8 drops. I remember him having 2 1,000-yard running backs.
And the other thing, and you to piggyback off of the what's the one thing that we hear? It's like, I don't want easy schedules. The other thing we hear is it's like, but how really how good was this guy when he's surrounded by X amount of talents? All like let's look at, like you just mentioned, the 2,000 yards running back, Elijah Surratt, Omar Cooper Jr. It's like
Charlie Becker, like,
yeah, and then you just pull up pretty much the exact similar stats of Curtis Rourke. It's like it's just a rotating carousel at that point. It's like they're all great,
right?
But it's just because they won the national championship and went undefeated that everybody's like, this is the consensus number 1 guy. When him and Curtis Rourke pretty much have the exact same lines or numbers.
Yeah, if you pull up the first 11 games or the first 11 starts of Curtis Rourke versus Fernando Mendoza, because Curtis Rourke I think he got hurt for one game and Taven Jackson came in. Right. Then he actually played in the college football playoff too, where they proceeded to lose against Ohio State. I think they played them twice, if I remember right. But what's so interesting is like Fernando Mendoza and Curtis Rourke's stats are pretty much comparable across the board through those 11 starts. But we have a number 1 overall quarterback that had these stats, and we have a guy that got drafted in the 7th round to the 49ers while he played on a bum ACL all year long, while he didn't have Kalen Black and Roman Hemby, while he didn't have Omar Cooper Jr. at his best, while he didn't have Pat Coogan, who transferred from Notre Dame and became an otherworldly center for him, while he didn't have D'Angelo Pond's breakout season. Like, you got to put a lot of this stuff in context and say, like, well, which guy was really better? Fernando Mendoza wasn't that much better than Curtis Rourke. And I love Curtis Rourke. And so this is more so, let's give flowers to Curtis Rourke, because a lot of people say, and throughout y'all lifetime as well, throughout mine, throughout Sora, throughout y'all's lifetime, Indiana has only been known as a basketball school. Let's be honest. There's a movie that was made for it, the Hoosiers, or Hoosiers, right?
Yes.
But if you look at the history of Indiana, their best season was a 9-win season, right? Curtis Rourke got there, gave them their first 11-win season, but Fernando Mendoza won the Heisman and national championship, so they automatically crowned him and like put in Indiana on the map. And I don't think that's fair. I think that's disrespectful to what Curtis Rourke and those guys established a year before, when they literally put them on the map.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Kurt Cignetti opening presser, I win, Google me. Lo and behold. That wasn't just talk. And what's crazy too is it's like, I know we'll get into our predictions later in like college football when we get closer to that, but I know Danté has stated in the past recently, like, it could just end up being another Indiana-Miami rematch. But Josh Hoover can go out there, have similar or better stats, but if they don't win it, people are going to talk about Josh Hoover as if he's like a third rounder.
It's going to be hilarious. I can't wait to have this conversation next year when Josh Hoover is the greatest statistical quarterback in Indiana that we've ever seen.
And then just doesn't end up even being in Heisman talks or anything like that. And it's like,
wow.
So let me ask you this: what's the Raiders' thought process with this, in your guys' opinion, as far as why they're taking Mendoza and not Simpson?
I honestly don't know, but I do know this: Fernando Mendoza has kind of worked within Clint Kubiak's like tree of guys. Like, I think there was a quarterback coach that worked with him for years, and then he ended up going to Indiana, and then all this stuff is like kind of interconnected with Kirk Cousins too in a weird way, because
I was gonna say
he was a quarterback coach with the Vikings, and when you read up on that, it kind of makes sense of why like Clint Kubiak's almost leaning towards drafting him. But I think more so the casual fan looks at, and I'm not docking them, I'm just saying, like, you look at us, we're going to tell you the truth. But the casual fan, when they see accolades, they automatically think you're the best. Like, I love Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston was a better quarterback than Fernando Mendoza in that Heisman season. Let's be honest here. That 2013 Florida State team is one of the greatest teams that ever took the field.
Absolutely.
We didn't get more than 13 points scored on us the whole season. So it's like, if you look at it from that aspect,
I hated it.
And he was a redshirt freshman. He was the first freshman to win the Heisman and national championship ever. So all the hype that Jameis Winston got was warranted of why he was the #1 overall pick and things like that. But what we saw Jameis Winston's career is, just because you got the accolades doesn't mean you're going to be the great quarterback that you were in college and the NFL.
Right.
I mean, you can say the same thing with Tim Tebow. Like, Tim Tebow and Jameis Winston, two of the greatest college football quarterbacks of all times. NFL career, not so much.
Yeah. And it's great that I love the fact that Fernando Mendoza is the guy that is great with the media, a great role model. You look at his parents and his mom having, multiple sclerosis or whatever. I forgot I think it's MS.
Yes,
MS.
And just like how his family is so supportive, and his brother, he got to play with his brother, which I don't think people get to talk about that enough. Like, you had a support system there. Like, Kirk Cinetti literally asked Alberto, we're thinking about going in the transfer portal. Should we go get Fernando? And are you okay sitting behind him? And he said, absolutely. I think we would win with Fernando being here. So, like, the whole story is great. And so what team wouldn't want to draft him on the surface? Now, we're not stupid enough to say this. The whole media aspect and the media landscape of drafting Fernando Mendoza will be great for the Raiders. But I kind of take a look back on this as like, well, if this was the Raiders of old, like the Al Davis days. Remember when Al Davis said this?
Yeah.
I believe the greatness of the Raiders is in our future. He had said that. So if that's the case, why aren't they trading back and getting a boatload of picks and going to go get the guy that put his team on his back with Ty Simpson? That would be, and he's better, to run Clint Kubiak's scheme because he's been under center. Fernando Mendoza was under center 5 times last year. So it's the optics, and I get that, and I'm not dumb to that like, you draft him, you sell a lot of people are making custom Raider Fernando Mendoza jerseys now.
Yeah, especially since Kirk Cousins already said, like, yeah, Fernando and I have just been watching the film. It's like, oh, well, all right, cool,
Yeah.
Let me stop there at that. So remember Kirk Cousins, when he was in Atlanta, he said he wasn't here to be a teacher or a babysitter, so to speak, I guess. So what has changed with him?
I think the change with him is honestly, I think Atlanta did him dirty. First of all, like I'm not just
Yes.
be completely honest with you. Like you pay him all that money,
Mhm.
and I'll never dock a man for finessing somebody else about their cash. Everybody wants to get paid the highest amount.
Doing it.
That his agent is one of the greatest of all time.
Yes,
That's
he
all I
is.
gotta say.
For real.
But I want him to negotiate my taxes next year. Like, come on,
For,
brother.
Right.
I need something to happen.
Can you make my budget? Like,
Exactly. But I think he's, I'll never dock a man. Like when it comes to the contract thing, we're really the type to be like, I don't really care. Like you get paid whatever people value you to be at. I'm not gonna dock Kirk for that. But I think when you bring him in and you pay him that amount of money, it comes with the semblance of I'm the guy in Atlanta. Maybe we might choose a quarterback in the second or third round, but that's not making me feel like that this guy's going to come in and take my job. No, you grab Michael Penix Jr. with like the 7th overall pick.
yeah, it was like 7 or 8. It's one of the
I-
two.
Which is
It was worse than Jordyn Love going to Green Bay.
yeah.
So I felt like that was a gut punch for Kirk. But now it's like, well, Clint Kubiak was my offensive coordinator. I had my best season under Clint with the Vikings. I'm getting a lot of familiar guys that I'm used to in that coaching staff to come over. And I know that I'm 39 years old. This is probably my last time
Big contract.
and to turn my whole ideal around about being this guy that's selfish. He knows that he's coming in there to be a mentor. So the end of Kirk Cousins' story could be I start a couple games, get the Raiders back on their feet, hand the reins off to Fernando Mendoza. I'm here for probably a year or two, but I'm here to help Fernando get to his peak. Would be a beautiful story for Kirk in his career. And I honestly think he's setting himself up to be a coach under Clint Kubiak. That's what I'm thinking that's happening. Like the contract is really, really good, like really weird, and it's a whole bunch of other stuff. Like if you really look into it, but I think that's why he's okay with taking his chance because he knew if it wasn't the Vikings, then it had to be the Raiders.
Okay, so if the Raiders pick Mendoza, and it's not even if they seem like they are. So you're not thinking he's going to start. He's not going to start right away. He's going to be underneath Kirk Cousins, and will he start next year? Will he get the opportunity to play next year? I'm saying I'm an old school guy. I'm from young players come in, they sit. We don't do that no more. We love to just throw them out there and see if it, if the spaghetti sticks to the wall. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'm thinking that it's Kirk Cousins' team for the whole year. To be honest with you, because I don't know. Are they gonna go straight to Mendoza or what?
Yeah, I agree that Clint has probably had a long drawn out discussion with Kirk and said, "This is your team."
Okay.
Until proven otherwise.
Yeah.
And which is a great thing to go into, but he's also like, we're drafting Fernando, so you guys are going to need to work together.
Okay.
Like, this is Kirk. Yeah, this is your team, but you got to pass the baton. This is a race until the finish. And there's no way that Kirk didn't agree to that because he wouldn't have come there if that was the case. So
I would think Kirk understands that.
Yeah, that was
he's not stupid. He's not a stupid guy. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That was just a random like Tuesday morning too. It wasn't like something that was long drawn out or rumored to just randomly happen. And I think part of it as well, which you look at the reason for drafting Fernando for signing Kirk Cousins. First and foremost, those two are basically like two peas in a pot. The mic'd up between them, there's going to be so much gosh darn it and golly and oh boy in between all of them.
Right.
But I think also part of it as well with new coaching staff, new ownership. Well, not new ownership, but like, new Spy Tech, Tom Brady being in there is you're also kind of doing an entire cultural reset because the Raiders as of late have just had a huge, character problem. Like we'll look at Clelin Ferrell didn't pan out at all. Waste of a fourth overall pick. Damon Arnett, drug problems, legal armed robbery. Henry Ruggs, we already know what happened with there. Tyree Wilson has not been good. Alex Leatherwood, he had some issues. Bowers and Jeanty so far have been pretty great. But again, you just look at a lot of the kind of character problems between, even when you're bringing in guys like Christian Wilkins, dude out here pretending like the locker room's a Diddy party. It's been a year since he's been in a team and signed. The Raiders need a cultural reset. That's why you're bringing in Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza.
Kev, these guys need to sign us.
It's like the meme of the 2007 Florida Gators national football team. You had the Pouncey twins, Aaron Hernandez, and everybody was led by preacher man Tim Tebow.
Would you say, D-Dubs? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying they need to hire us, man. I mean, these teams miss out so bad on these picks because they don't do the. I don't know what they're not doing. Like these character issues and these. I don't know if they just say, "Yo, we just gonna overlook it." Because the talent is there, and then they get them, and they don't even have the talent to match. It still don't add up. So I don't know. I don't know what these teams.
What is my theory, Sora? How to fix quarterbacks going to the next level. How to fix?
You're not allowed to draft a quarterback until the second round.
That's what I was going to ask you, Danté. I know you had some kind of spill on what. Yeah, no quarterbacks in the second round. That's your spill. I remember that now.
Yeah, because like. How many teams have screwed themselves
big time
by not drafting depth?
Mm-hmm.
Then you bring a quarterback in a system that like is shell shock. I would love the fact that you remember Kelvin Banks comes up for the Saints and becomes an absolute demon at left tackle. Why didn't the Raiders draft him last year instead of Ashton Jeanty? You saw what happened with Ashton Jeanty. He didn't even get 1,000 yards rushing. I think he only had like 4 touchdowns rushing. And I actually made a bet with somebody on this too. I said, I bet you Ashton Jeanty won't get 1,000 yards or 10 touchdowns like you think he's going to get on the ground. Oh, you're just a hater. Yeah, 900 and something yards and like 4 touchdowns. It's like, come on. And it's not the fact I don't believe in Ashton Jeanty. We were the podcast before what's so funny, Kev, is like we were the podcast that was banging the table for Ashton Jeanty that told everybody,
you guys,
this dude, he might have a breakout season. And then we're also the guys that were banging the table for Fernando Mendoza, saying that Indiana might win the national.
I was going to mention that too. We were talking about him even when he was at Cal. Nobody was talking about Fernando Mendoza when he was at Cal except us.
Most Raiders fans don't watch college football. I know there's some of them that's in the chat, but I'm gonna just call it like I said. None of y'all knew who Fernando Mendoza was until Indiana started winning, and y'all knew that y'all was getting the #1 pick. But what's so funny about that too is I asked them, I say, what if Danté Moore would have declared for the draft? Y'all wouldn't be talking about Fernando. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gonna want to go with Danté Moore because he's more talented. Like, let's be honest here.
Facts.
So I think they built themselves this this kind of wall of illusion a lot of the times. And again, it's the casual fan. Fernando Mendoza won the Heisman and national championship, so that must equal that he's good.
You know,
like if Indiana was a first round exit or whatever, if Alabama made it further than them, then everybody would be talking.
Everybody would have been on Ty Simpson. Like
exactly. It's the accolades. Undefeated, national championship, Heisman quarterback. That's the #1 overall pick. I don't need to pay attention to anybody else.
I knew another guy that who was a Heisman Trophy winner. His name was Charlie Ward, and he ended up going to the New York Knicks, to the NBA, and he wasn't
had a long career in the NBA.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He wasn't that good neither. He was aight. He's aight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry, I'm going off a tangent, but it's just to your point. Just because you win, you get the accolades, it doesn't mean it translates over to the next level. You understand what I'm saying? So, I was a little bit surprised of the Ty Simpson Alabama kid, right?
Yep.
Ty Simpson. Yeah. I was like, where did his name come from all of a sudden? And then, I don't know, you guys would know. And I was like, Ty Simpson. The mainstream media been shouting out this kid Fernando. It's Fernando. That's all. And then all of a sudden, this Ty Simpson. Can you explain like the season that Ty Simpson had and what is it that is made him skyrocket?
Yeah, actually, Ty Simpson was getting after they lost against Florida State week 1. Everybody remembers that Thomas Castellanos comes in and said, "I don't care."
That's when everybody was talking about Ty Simpson. I'm like, he can't do it.
Yeah, Ty Simpson,
it was nothing positive.
Yeah, it was like Nick Saban ain't here no more. This is the age of Florida State. I wasn't necessarily drinking the Kool-Aid. Y'all know I'm a Florida State fan. Right. I wasn't. I was like, okay, Thomas, let's see what you do. Then he goes in there and does it, and I'm like, okay, they beat him. But then I look at Ty Simpson on the other way, and he did not play bad. He wasn't the reason why Alabama lost. And so, like, when you go and you watch that game, and you're just like, this is not the same Alabama defense of old. They didn't have a running game. They were ranked. If you go back and do your research on this, and I had to because I'm like, man, when has Alabama had a bad running back? Jan Miller only had like 400 yards this year. The last time that they had like an 800-yard rusher, which is their worst one, was like back in 2003.
Yeah, it was before Kelly G. What's my man that they laugh about that got drafted? What's buddy? Yeah, it's been a long time. It's kind of aficionado, I guess I would say. And first up, Sora, what's up, baby? How are you? Man? Hope you're doing well. Danté, I can't be on long because I got some code I'm writing in the deadline that's kind of running up my back. But beautiful subject. I think Ty Simpson is a pretty good quarterback. I don't think he's a great quarterback. I think he needs more snaps, but he was in the offense when he got to do everything, right? So he's behind the center. He did drop back. A lot of play action that didn't work because they didn't have a good running game. So can't blame him. Play action wasn't working because he didn't have a running attack, which is part of their, I think Alabama's biggest problems. Like usually you have three, like all-American offensive linemen. I think they had one. I think the center might have been. Yeah. Like usually they have three, and I'm talking about like first, second, third team guys. Oh, man, this is the impact of Saban as a coach was probably at least 2/4 of all of their, 2/4 mean half of all of their recruiting, right? A lot of recruiting was like, listen, I'm going to play with Saban, which is kind of the same thing. You went to Duke to play with, Krzyzewski, but Saban had a lot to do with it. And especially with DBs, because like he coached the DBs himself when he was there, and you could see the immediate drop off when he stopped coaching DBs. Things just got a little crazy for them, and you could just run off a bunch of names of DBs like back to when Eddie Lacy was there, right? Like he always had one or two going in the first round, and it hurt him, man. And I don't know if the coach is bad. I wouldn't say the board's bad. But what I am saying is that this is not the same place he was at, and the expectations are different. And with NIL and the transfer portal and everything else, which I don't think really hurts Alabama. I think they might have lost one or two big names in the portal this year, but I'm pretty sure they picked up like 8 or 9 because it's still a step up from a lot of different schools, to go to Alabama. So.
Yeah, Kalen DeBoer has actually had a better start to his Alabama than Nick Saban.
Yeah, I didn't think he's a bad coach.
I don't either. I don't know if he's going to reach the pinnacle like Nick Saban will. Yeah. But for people to say, and I'm not saying you saying this, I'm just saying like there are people out there that are like, Kalen DeBoer's not that good, and it's like, come on now.
Yeah,
he's had a better start to his Alabama, and I would say that it's even more difficult for him because
the SEC is not
you had to follow up Nick Saban. That is,
and listen, guys,
guts, man.
The SEC is not the same SEC. Y'all like Texas is there, Oklahoma's there. Like it's
divisions.
The divisions are gone now. It's
it's hard, man. It's. Like,
it's also like
9 SEC games on the schedule this year for
sir. Yeah,
it's also like and Saban dealt with this in the later half of his career, but early on, the transfer portal wasn't what the transfer portal was now. You maybe got it for like certain cases, but other than that, it was just you committed. That was it.
Yeah,
well, the thing is too, like I do want to call this out about the portal because a lot of people always think about this as a one-way deal. Like
it's not.
How much can you go and get in the portal? But people never talk about what gets lost from a team in the portal because of this or a coach leaving. Like I think what's his name that came from Oregon that's going to Kentucky? Oh my God, Why am I drawing a blank?
Oh, the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Anyways, Buddy left from Oregon. Had great quarterbacks over and over. His offense was great. I think he's going to do great for Kentucky. But like 3 receivers left in the portal and went with him.
Yeah,
as a coach, and so that's a loss for Dan Lanning. But Dan Lanning always recovers too. So I don't know.
It's crazy because you guys, like, the reality is this, man. Like, Kentucky hasn't had like a great quarterback in a very long time, but they always have a great running back, and they always give you games. Like, they play every game. Like, you're not going to come out of there without getting bludgeoned somehow. Even if you beat the hell out of them score wise, physically, they will give you a game. So, and Kentucky's just a funny school to watch because, like, I see
the last great quarterback was Tim Couch.
Yeah, it's like,
think about this.
Yeah,
wow. Like, but they'll get running backs. They'll run the ball. They play average. Every third year, like, we got like a class, like that at third year, you got a pretty good defense, pretty good offense. But like I said, the SEC is not what it was. But one thing I got to jump off for a second. My boss is calling me, but one of the weirdest things that, and I tell this to Kevin, the guys, this is just my opinion about the portal, and you guys kind of jump in and let me know if I'm kind of, crazy on this one but I always say, man, because people like to blame the kids, the players, and Kevin hates for me to call them kids, but the players. What I do know is no one jumps in the portal without a place to land. Right?
Yeah.
So like everybody jumps. So everybody's thinking that it's a one-way street, right? It's not. And I have a buddy of mine. I don't have my aluminum tinfoil hat, but we did this study with App State. He's a big time App State guy. And he went, like, say 5 years ago to now, grad assistants that work there, right? So these are people that can call Papa Sora, right, and say, "Hey, man, look, we saw you at Townsend State, man. We like you. I'm with this school, so you're not a coach. You won't get in trouble for tampering or anything, But I can be kicking it with you your whole season, and I'm just grad assistant guy B, because he was looking at the amount of guys that are now on the staff at App State that now do that, right? That's your job, is you call these players and you develop a relationship until the season's over. And now I can officially say to these guys, yo, if you jump in the portal, we'll grab you out of it, right? Because you jumping in the portal with nobody to grab you out of it I don't think many kids do that. I think, most dudes that jump in the portal jump in with a destination in mind. So, they played what we call Tuesday night football, right? Right, Tuesday, right? They play on Tuesday, Townsend State, Dayton, right? So you're playing Tuesday or Wednesday night football. You're doing your thing, and you get a call from person B from Florida State grad assistant guy, dude. And he just starts talking to you about, hey man, we need a receiver, and next thing you know, you're in the portal at the end of the season, and you know exactly where you're going.
And you're going as soon as it opens.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I think it's people think it's such a risk, but it's not really a risk. It's just part of the system that's been established and created for college football. And I'll be back, guys. I'll be right back. Gotta go.
Got you. Thank you, D. Let me jump Danté back into the draft thing here. Jeremiyah Love, and what's your consensus on him? Being this top running back, you think he's top 5? What's your thoughts on him?
I'm gonna punt this to Sora in a second. I'm gonna just say this.
Okay.
Jeremiyah Love was one of those guys that, you see throughout the season, and it's so easy to be like, everybody looks amazing on game day. I always say that, college disparity of great players is so hard to read until you go back and watch the film, to me, when they're just that great. Because I look at Ahmad Hardy, for example, from Missouri, who I think was the best running back last year, in my opinion. But then I had my reservations because I'm like, okay, Jeremiyah Love, got another good running back that runs with him with Jadarian Price. Everybody knows how good Notre Dame's offensive line is. CJ Carter's a pretty good quarterback. Their defense is always decent. They were just in a national championship 2 years ago. They had a lot working for them. So I was like, I will pull my reservations of Jeremiyah Love until I pull up the film. It was not even like 5 minutes into the game that they played in the college football playoff last year in the first round. And I was like, holy shit. And I was like, yep. Yeah, he's that guy.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Sora, you said you had something? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just an all-around explosive back. We both had him as our consensus number one guy when we did our top 10. And, it makes sense that he's being talked about as a top 5 pick, potentially a top 3 pick. Dude is just he's such an explosive back. I mean, it's in open space, the dude is dangerous. You put him in the passing game as well. He give him open space in the passing game or whatever, send him on a quick quick throw or something in the flat. Dude's gonna make moves. One thing that we always talk about that we look for a staple in our running backs is when you are getting tackled, how are you getting tackled? What I mean by that is, are you falling forward? And he does. He falls forward, and he always is going to get those 1 yards or whatever. You're never each a task to kind of get him to fall backwards. And, as well as pass blocking as well. We look at that as for our running backs as well, because that's it's the same thing with tight ends. For whatever reason, people don't like to talk about the blocking in tight ends and running backs when that's a huge part of their game as well. And this man, Jeremiyah Love, there were times where he was picking up slack that like the right guard or whatever would let loose. And he's like, all right, well, guess I'm doing this now. And dude would be like as straight as he could be and just, no, you have been stopped.
And I think that Jeremiyah Love is on the spectrum. Like, I really do. Like, every time I see him talk, his mannerisms and everything, like, I think he has some type of autism.
Yeah.
But with that being said, when he came out in an interview and said, whatever team I go to, that I'm just going to focus on football, because a lot of people that are on the spectrum have like OCD about just everything. And I think he's just like OCD about football. Like,
right.
I'm not going to get in trouble. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
He literally said, I'm going home, I'm watching film, and I'm watching anime, and I'm calling it a night.
I could see Jeremiyah Love having an apartment, right? And all you see is a couch, a TV with a TV stand, 2 cups, 2 plates, and a couple forks. And his bedroom is just a bed with a rug under it. Like, I think that's how clean his apartment would be. But that's great that he's like that. But there's 2 generational players in this draft. It's him and Caleb Downs, bar none. They are the 2 best players in this draft. But Jeremiyah Love is going to be a better version of Bijan Robinson. And I'm scared for the NFL for a long time. If that's
saying a lot.
If he's that focused and committed, because you have to be to play this game, to play mostly any major league sporting game, the commitment and the focus, you have to live, eat, sleep that if you want to be the next level type of dude.
And to add on to that, I think because he's so focused and has that OCD about football or is on the spectrum, I think anything that affects his football game, he gets real frustrated at. And I think his dad actually talked about this too. Like, if he did something bad in football, like didn't spin when he was supposed to spin, he would get so frustrated about it. And I feel like with a person that's so obsessive like that, to be the best player he can be, comes with also the attitude of, I'm not going to sit back when I think my ankle is tweaked and jeopardize my career to play on the bum ankle when I know it's not right. Like, I need to heal, but how fast can I get back on the field? Like, I think he'll be a smart player like that through his career. So I don't know if Jeremiyah Love will be one of those guys that you might see a full season from, or he's playing 17 games, but I think he'll be like a 16 to 15 game type running back. But everybody's like, he always takes care of his body and he'll never go in there and tweak something and play on it the next week because he's so concerned about, like, long term, how am I helping the team? which I think that'll be a great asset that we really don't see now. Because like a lot of people are like, I got the warrior mentality, and he's like, dude, I'm not about to get shot up with all these drugs and all this stuff, and I don't really want to have surgery,
especially
after this.
when you have to realize as well with the not even just the lifespan of a running back, but just a football player in general. It's like there's life after football, man. By like 35, maybe at times, you're out of the league by then, and you go, okay, now what?
So you said something really good. There's life after football. Have you noticed how many players have retired and just left the game early?
Yeah.
There's a couple players that just that has retired early in their career. So these guys are they trying to. Some of them they got the money from not all of them, but some some might have got the money and then do a couple years and bounce. They don't they're not trying to
Well, kids are getting smarter, man. Speaking of which, I'm back for a few minutes. I know we had a guy with the Niners, with my Niners, man. I forget dude's name, man. I think he came from Oklahoma or Wisconsin. He was a linebacker. Right after Patrick Willis quit, man. What's the kid's name? Like,
Are
dude
you
was
talking about Chris Borg?
Chris Borland.
Borland.
Dude was 20 tackles a game in the NFL. After 1 or 2 years, dude was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
That might be Cam Scattaboo the way he be going.
Well, that's why I think Love would be good with the Giants, because Love's not going to get all the snaps because crazy Scattaboo is going to get some until he kind of phases out. Because if he has as many concussions as they said, and I'm pretty sure all of us have had some.
Hey Kev, you remember when I had Cam Scattaboo in my top 5, and everybody's like, he's not that great. And then everybody now loves him, like, oh yeah, he was great.
Yeah,
he was great until he got hurt.
No, everybody's like, man, the Giants, if only the Giants had Scattaboo all season. It's like, really?
People are so worried about the intangibles and all this other stuff that he's a football player, man.
That's why whoever gets D'Angelo Ponds he gonna ball out, bro.
I seen Cam Scattaboo literally rip Texas apart in that college football.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah,
they would have won. And he was sick that game.
Yes,
I remember that game, man. Let me move on to the wide receivers. This wide receiver, the depth. You think it's great depth with this core of receivers?
Yeah, there's a lot.
I think it's an amazing depth.
Yeah. I think it's I think this overall draft is being scoffed at because the quarterbacks are not what everybody thinks that they're going to be, and then I had this thing. Yeah, well, it's not the sexy names that are thrown out there, which then is going to make you just overlook everybody else. Yes, I believe that this wide receiving depth is so deep this year that somebody at least should be able to find your number 2 guy if you don't have one on your team, which is very, very important. Like, I mean, it's as in depth of like I had Eric McAllister in my top 5 from TCU, and I think he could be the best receiver in this draft if he puts it all together. He's got some off the field stuff that he's got to figure out, but like just the talent alone is
just
like
his
this
sophomore season, and then he's been clean since.
It was like it was like his redshirt freshman year or something.
Yeah.
Like that. So yeah, man, I think this is so deep. Like, one guy that we joked around about today on Twitter, but Jacoby Lane is not even a number 1 receiver at USC. Man, Jacoby Lane could be a number 1 receiver on somebody's team right now.
Jacoby Lane, in my opinion, had one of, if not the best combines out of the receiver group this year. I mean, watching him on like that gauntlet drill, dude was straight as an arrow running through it. I realized my arm did not go straight there, but that's besides the point. Don't use that as the indication. I got messed up arms. It is what it is. But yeah, like Jacoby Lane is another one. And it's not even depth. I feel like it just depends on what all you're looking for. Like if you're looking for consistency, Jeremy Bernard from Alabama was Mr. Consistent. That was Alabama's best weapon. Not even Ryan Williams.
And there's parallels, right? Like I think if you're not getting the one player that you want, there's another player that's the same archetype. Like if you don't get Carnell Tate, go get Jeremy Bernard. Right.
Gotcha.
Like
if you didn't get like Casey Concepcion and you really need a returner as well, Zachariah Branch.
Zachariah Branch. So it's like you have those parallels where nobody feels like they're out of play for the player that they really want to get. Oh, does it suck? Oh man, I could have got KC or we could have traded up. But it's like, oh, Zachariah Branch is on the clock. Well, if I want the same type of archetype player that might have the same upside, let's just take a chance on him. And he might be better because you pick later on in the draft and these good players start going to better teams. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, well, KC just went to a bad team and they never were good, but then Zachariah Branch ended up being the better player. It could have happened like that. And
it was like KC went to the Browns, Zachariah went to like the Bills or whatever.
Right.
You're going from who knows on the Browns to Josh Allen on the Bills now.
How do you feel about what's my man name from Arizona State? Jordyn Tyson, I think.
Jordyn Tyson.
Oh man, Jordyn Tyson could be the best receiver in this class, man. He can
really.
Yes, like hands down. Like I don't even think it's close. Like if he was consistent with the catching, which I think is a huge problem, but there's nobody that runs routes like him. There's nobody that has a release at the line of scrimmage. There's nobody that would just embarrass you at the catch point. There's nobody that can just take the ball, make a move on you, and get downfield. There's nobody that's better down the field at the top of the stem. Like he's that dude. But what's the biggest knock on him? He's always lying about his injuries, man. Like he's the opposite of what I think Jeremiyah Love would be. Remember we were talking about like I think he's smart with his body.
He's
Jordyn
not.
Tyson's like, man, I'm that dude. I'm going out there anyways. He's Booby Miles from Friday Night Lights.
Oh God.
I think it's you look at the, to use the Jeremiyah Love, you look at the short-term success of Jordyn Tyson. It's like, man, he's explosive, but his biggest knock is going to be, hell, it's going to be Freddie Taylor, but for the wide receiver position,
Oh man, that's such a great comparison. But
that's what it's going to end up being. And then Jeremiyah Love's like, I'm not risking it. Longevity.
Yeah.
Tyson just needs milk.
Yeah, man. I think, and it's crazy too, because I'm glad you brought up Tyson, because earlier I saw that like on Twitter today, I saw Casey Concepcion, he wrote like a statement or whatever to all the owners, being like, I think that I'm one of the best route runners, all this stuff, praising his game like week before the draft. It's understandable. Try to get your name out there a bit more. Especially after you've conducted through all your interviews. Dude is also just a great dude in person. And, you see a bunch of the different accounts, like, Don Keevman, whatever that dude's name is. And it's like, oh, he might be one of the best route runners. And it's like, man, Jordyn Tyson and his injuries are the only reason these talks are happening. And I like Casey Concepcion.
It's Jordyn Tyson needs to go somewhere like the Ravens. And this is not like me saying, I'm saying this because like, yeah, does Lamar need a number one? Maybe. I think people undervalue Zay Flowers a lot. The dude had 1,200 yards and people act like that he's not like, can't play ball all of a sudden. Like,
don't X out Mike Mills. Mike Mills, one of our dudes on here. Mike can be giving Zay Flowers the business, but go ahead.
I mean, 1,200 yards is 1,200 yards, and being undersized is when you had Rashad Bateman, who you just extended, and he's bigger and more of a was supposedly supposed to be more of a downfield threat, but like that guy didn't pan out either. I think Jordyn Tyson being on the Ravens would give them a presence of like, oh snap, we got like an Odell Beckham Jr. type dude on this squad, but you're not screaming for Jordyn to be the number one because they're going to run the ball. Like, and so he needs to be in that type of environment where it's like, true. Not every route run has to be at 1,000% for you here. It's okay.
Well, let me tell you this. Jordyn Tyson has torn just about everything in his body. ACL, MCL, PCL, broken collarbone 2024, hamstring in 2025. He should be ready to go.
Oh wait, can I throw some daggers?
Why you high on him? He should be ready to go. He's been through all the injuries, so he should be good.
Let me throw some daggers at Coach Prime real quick.
Go ahead.
How you have Jordyn Tyson and Colton Hood on your team, and they transferred out, and they're being known as like first round dudes right now?
Wow. Anyone?
Anybody got an answer for that?
Anyone? I have no answers, man. Anyone, please.
We was just D Dubs called me earlier about. He said, "Yeah, why is Colorado getting all this press for this?"
I don't know why Colorado's getting this press right now. I mean, I understand because listen. I again, my thing is stop talking, talk less, let your work be
your talk.
I don't know if you've seen their spring game or like pictures from it.
I've heard
tiny, brother.
I've heard.
They literally were. There was like an AI video where they were just like they edited all their players to look super jacked, and like every single person was 6'5", like 250.
Well, I feel bad for guys like Danny Scudero. Remember Nick Nash that played at San Jose State and he led college football in like yards last year, and then he didn't even get drafted, which is crazy. But I watched his tape. I didn't think Nick was like all that fantastic. I thought Justin Lockhart, his teammate, was better. And then he ended up going as a UDFA too. But Danny Scudero played at San Jose State, was one of the best receivers, and his tape looks really, really good. Then he enters the transfer portal. I'm thinking like, oh man, maybe like Auburn. Now that they lost Cam Coleman, might have picked. He goes to Colorado. I'm like, dude, this is career suicide, man. I'm sorry, but like,
don't do it.
Why would you do that to yourself, man?
Wow, that's just definitely crazy. Let me move to the O line here. You got my man from Miami, Francis. How come I can't pronounce his name? Mauigoa. Did I pronounce it right?
Yeah.
Your thoughts on him? Who you think is going to be one of the first offensive linemen taken in the draft?
I think he goes to the Titans or the Cardinals. I really think probably the Titans would work better because I mean I always like the connection between former teammates. Like there's nobody that's going to ride for his guy more than Cam Ward. You saw it last year.
I was about to say you saw it with Restrepo.
With Restrepo last year, where he actually got signed to the roster later on in the year, and shout out to him for that. I love Cam Ward's mentality when it comes to the game of football and riding for his guys.
Right.
Francis Mauigoa is the only offensive lineman that can play all 5 offensive line positions. So where do you value that? And he said that like, I'll play anywhere. I don't care.
Dude just literally, quote, I'll play anywhere. I just want to play football.
Sound like a Giant player to me.
Yeah.
Because we need
if he makes it that far, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've always
Jesus Christ.
My favorite has always been the Jeremiyah Love to the Cardinals and then Francis to the Titans. That's always been my favorite. I've been saying that for months. Then like later JPA and other accounts started going back to what we were talking about at the very beginning. JPA and other accounts started talking about Jeremiyah Love to 3. It's like I've been saying this for months. Where's my at? I'm the source here.
Some other O linemen that I did some research on. Spencer Fano from Utah and Freeling from Georgia. Your thoughts on those two guys?
Yeah, Spencer Fano and his teammate Caleb Lomu. It's kind of funny that a right tackle is getting talked about so highly like Spencer Fano because Caleb Lomu played left tackle. But I think they might be guards in their future because they're so athletic. But let me tell you what, they did not have a good game against Romello Height from Texas Tech. Everybody talks about David Bailey, and Romello Height came in and destroyed both of them the whole game. But I mean, it's just one game. Their tape is really, really clean. I like both of their techniques. Everybody's going to get caught flat-footed every once in a while against a good player, so I'm not going to hold their feet to the fire. I'm probably not as high on them as a lot of other people.
Yeah.
But Monroe Freeling is the best left tackle in this class. The one thing that my audience knows this, and I think I talked to you guys about this. People made fun of me because I was like, I don't think Joe Alt is that great of a left tackle. Like I see him playing right tackle in the league because his left hand, his anchor hand, is not as strong.
Right.
Then he proceeded to get drafted and play right tackle, but that's a story for a different day. So this is a difference where I think Monroe Freeling is as good and strong with his left hand as he is with his right hand. So you might see a team that needs a right tackle draft Monroe Freeling to be a right tackle as well. Yeah. Even though he never played on the right side, but because he's so strong with both hands and he's super athletic. Like I got caught onto his game probably later. Like our guy Torque always sends us like some gems. Last year was like Teddy Buchanan from Cal that played for the Ravens. But he was like, nah, Monroe Freeling. He's like, you guys got to check his tape out, man. And I'm like, all right, let me dig in the tape. I'm like, yeah, This dude is not like violent like Vega Iowani from Penn State, the guard from there. Like he's super violent. Like he's just nasty. He's probably the best offensive lineman in this class. But
you know, a lot of guys like that. A lot of guys like that, and you guys know they'll take a great or a pretty good left tackle in college and move them to the right side to kind of be the left tackle in waiting. So if they got like a Trent Williams on the team, or you know, because most teams have a left tackle, right? It's not you don't have a lot. Well, you know, most good teams do. You know, because you have to be a great left tackle in college to step in first day in the NFL and play left tackle. So
I mean, that's what happened with Josh Connerly for the Commanders last year.
Yeah, so you know it's not a bad deal to get drafted, and they'll let you play right tackle for a while, and then when big contract guy got to go, then we just move you over, and you know you're already on the team, and you're probably
I think you have that, and then I'm gonna use Lomu, Fano, and Freeling as examples here. Both athletics, both could probably play right tackle. You have a team like the Eagles where, Lane Johnson after this year, he may retire. He may be around for like 1 or 2 more years.
Right.
And it's the same thing that we saw with Landon Dickerson when he was going to be center after Kelsey. They plugged him at guard and they said, well, shit, he's a good guard. So they drafted another center.
Right.
And I think that can happen with any one of those 3 guys. We need a right guard as well because Tyler Steen, which I said, by the way, when we drafted him, is not that good. So you're going to plug them at guard for a little bit, learn under Lane directly, and then when he retires, you're going to move him there. You're not going to have to worry about the end of the contract because he's probably going to retire at the end of the year or in 2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see Philly. That's who I think Philly gets. Not that anybody has that, but now that we're speaking about this.
Let me move on to pass rushers and edge rushers in this draft. Bailey or Reese? Gentlemen, Avril Reese or David Bailey?
Romello Heights. Cassius Hell.
Dude, do we have to pick one of those?
Can I pick my own option?
Sora said other.
Yes.
They didn't even. I think they were like. I don't think either one of them made our top 5.
Ruben
Bain.
I
think it was like
Ruben Bain. I think made it. I think he was like in the top 5. But like, me and Sora don't really see him as an edge rusher. We understand the type of talent that he is, but I see him being Geno Atkins at the next level. Like I see him sliding inside to D tackle and just being dominant.
How much does he weigh?
I don't remember what his weight is, but I know he's a bigger edge rusher for sure.
Right. Well, that's what they're doing. I mean, I see it in college all the time because they'll recruit 4 defensive ends in college, and 2 of them are going to be tackles. That's like what a Justin Tuck was. You're a big guy, not super big, but real athletic on the inside. Real strong. Yeah. You can get at the strong at the point of attack, but you can also get to the quarterback occasionally. That's kind of what Buddy from the Rams was, essentially. Because coming out of
270.
Yeah.
Jared Verse?
Yeah. Yeah, but Jared Verse I don't know, man.
Oh, no, I was just asking if that's who you were talking about.
No. Verse, I like. He had a good season. The big boy in front of him is a monster, too, out there with the Rams, the D tackle from Florida State, right? Florida State?
Braden Fisk.
Yeah.
So they got Braden Fisk and they got homie from Wake Forest.
Yeah. So Braden Fisk.
And Byron.
But, yeah. So they're going to be a problem for a long time. So, yeah. But go ahead, guys.
Yeah. Cassius Howell is our number 1 from Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Everybody complains about like him and Ruben Bain's arm length. Us guys, just like the Cam Scattaboo thing. I don't care. Like when I watched his film, the dude is the most creative pass rusher that I've seen since I've been doing.
We recently discovered the pass rushing move called, what was it? The ghost step. I didn't know that existed until Cassius Howell.
He like takes a false step forward and then kind of hops to the other side. And they call it a ghost step. He's so good at it, but it's not even that. It's like if I get beat on a ghost step, I'm moving to a swim move. If I get beat on a swim move, I'm moving to a bull rush. If I get beat on a bull rush, I'm pulling a false stunt and heading the other way on you. Like his tool bag is incredibly large.
He's got a backup plan for the backup plan for the backup plan.
I always have thought like with that, I'm like, yeah, you got short arms. Not everybody uses the long arm, right? And then some guys never use it, like it doesn't matter, you know. And if you guys
don't even look short, if
you got a guy with short arms and he gets the long arm on you and stabs you with it, and then you're over. At that point,
when you watch Cassius Howell's film, his arms look way longer. Like if I said you guys all 22, just the cut ups of him, you'd be like, man, this dude looks like he's got extremely long arms. And it's like, no, it's like one of the shortest in this class. But he's so good, man. You know, is he okay at run defense? Yeah. You know, he'll whiff a tackle here and there, but like the relentlessness of like, if I get beat, I'm still trying to get around you. I'm still trying to move. Like most guys like David Bailey and Arvell Reese, they'll just stop.
Right.
Like, what are you doing, guys? Like, you're supposed to be this elite pass rusher, and I don't see it. Elite pass rushers just don't stop and just accept defeat. Like, you're not helping your team out this way.
It's the same thing even with like our Mason Thomas. Like the motor does not stop.
Yeah. It just don't. So yeah, Arvell Reese and David Bailey are not in our top 5. And I see Arvell Reese as an edge rusher at the next level. And the thing about Arvell is like, I give him so much grace because this is his first year starting. This is his first overall season starting. He's young. He's really just a sophomore that's coming into this draft. So he's got the age. But when you watch Arvell Reese, he like will play edge, then he'll play wide 9, then he'll play middle linebacker, then he'll play outside linebacker. There was when they lost.
I think he's even played slot before, and it's just
that's what
crazy.
I'm saying. It was like the third to last play of the game against Indiana. They put this man in the slot, and he got cooked. I'm like, what are we doing? But that's not an Arvell Reese problem, but it's just like I don't have enough to go off of, and he's not consistent enough for me to be like, yeah, he's gonna be this overall like generational talent like everybody thinks he's gonna be.
I also think that, you know, because he played on that Texas Tech, that very, 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 very high paid Texas Tech D line, he had help, man. He had help.
Oh, David Bailey?
Yeah, the one that was at Texas Tech. What's his name?
Yeah, David Bailey.
Romello Heights.
Yeah, listen, man.
Jacob Rodriguez.
I thought, yes. And, you know, and Rodriguez is nice. I like him at the linebacker.
That's my number 1.
Yeah, that's my dude. Like, he goes hard. Like, all plays, equipment falling off him. He's dead up serious about it. But they were that was a high-paid defense. They said it. You know, I think it might have been the highest paid defense in the country. But you're going to look good playing on that defense, you know?
Yeah, I've stated this multiple times. Next year, if Texas Tech's defense is like one of the worst in college football, or there's just a significant drop-off, they need to have a 30 for 30 of the 2025-2026 Texas Tech defense, man.
Sora, you know exactly what it is, and they said it on ABC. I think they were playing BYU, and they were getting cooked, keeping it funky with you.
Oh, that's the film. That's one of the film that we watched live with everybody. Was the first BYU game?
Yes, the first game. They were getting cooked, man. And I was like, wow, interesting. And then the guy said, "Well, yo, this is the highest paid D line," and I was like, wow, it is.
Yeah, they would have been better if Skylar Gill Howard was healthy too.
Who knew? You know, Texas Tech spending money. Who knew?
They had the highest paid roster again in college football.
That's the Patty Mahomes influence.
hey, man. Alumni makes it happen, you know?
Well,
yeah. Come on, Tim. We need you, man.
Hey, again, that's when I pulled up did my little homework this weekend. That's why these guys are the specialists. So,
absolutely.
So let me go on to defensive tackles. I hate to even point out my good guy who I picked up, Peter Woods from Clemson.
Oh,
how do you feel about him?
He was just a product of a really bad environment this year with Clemson altogether. I feel bad for a lot of those guys. I feel bad for Cade Klubnik. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for TJ Parker. I feel bad for Antonio Williams. I feel bad for Adam Randall. All those guys are Blake Miller. Like I feel
Avion
bad for all
Terrell.
those. Avion. Well, he's the only anomaly. It was like Avion Terrell was awesome, and
everybody like slowly was like going through a fit. Avion Terrell was just straight skyrocket up. It's like
yeah. So it's hard to evaluate where Peter Woods was, but here's the thing: we overvalue guys at the beginning of the season every year. TJ Parker and Peter Woods are for sure bet top 10 guys everywhere. Same thing with Anthony Hill Jr. from Texas. Everybody had those guys as the top defensive guys. And then it ends up not being the case down the road when your whole team and your defensive scheme and you guys don't play as a unit for the rest of the year, which then if you're not leading in some type of stat, then you're going to be undervalued. And Peter Woods is one of those guys he's a beast. He's just going to be undervalued in this draft. He might go to it. Would be crazy if he goes to the second round, goes to somewhere like the Ravens, and then starts wrecking shop. And it's just like, well, you guys can see past the really bad record that Clemson had this year. Or like if Kay Klubnik goes and is a starting quarterback somewhere and becomes Tyler Shuck this year, it's like, well, you guys couldn't see past the, when he lost a couple of receivers early in the season, they had no running game. But Peter Woods is such a beast. I don't think he's a nose tackle at the next level. I think he's like a 3 technique that you just let this guy just go after and just kill people. Like, I think that's his mentality as a D tackle. I'm not as high on TJ Parker as an edge rusher than most people, but I damn sure think that I love Avion Terrell, but Peter Woods is definitely the best defensive player that was on Clemson.
Gotcha. Sorry, you had anything before I move on?
No, I mean it's when we were talking earlier about pass rushers, I always forget which one it was, but when you look at Peter Woods talking about like the different body type in the scenarios, like this dude from 2024 to 2025 lost like 15 to 20 pounds, and at first he kind of looked like an edge rusher at for majority of the time. So I think it's going to be a pretty interesting one. I think those two are kind of the I think kind of the later rounds, again, like Danté was saying, or later rounds, but like even later picks in the first round, or depending on whatever better team they go to. Again, Clemson was just a mess, man. It's kind of one of those what if questions of like if it was any other coach other than like Dabo Swinney, because Dabo Swinney's been kind of going downhill. So you kind of just sit here and wonder and go, if this was like, like if these guys were
DA why. Ask the DA why he downhill.
I got no comments on Dabo.
It's one of those things where it's like if you were to do a swap with all those players with like an entirely different team, like I don't know, we'll say Oregon or whatever, everybody would be talking about like all these Clemson players, man. But they were just on such an up and down hill. Like week 1, we all thought we were watching battles of titans between Clemson and LSU. And then as the season went on, we went, man, that was not the case in the slightest.
Oh, yeah. We got teased for sure. What was the come?
I like that kid, Caden McDonald from Ohio State. I think he's, he may just play nose, but I think he's pretty good. And I don't, I'm not much for their coach. The D coordinator at Ohio State, but I will say,
I met Ryan Day this weekend. I can tell you.
No, not Ryan Day, the other guy.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Used to be the D.
Yeah. MIT guy. MIT dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
but I can tell you this about Ryan Day. He's an asshole, by the way. Just want to throw that out there.
Probably is.
Well,
I want to tell you this about Billy Napier. He's fucking nonchalant as hell. Dude does not care. There was a report that like a former player was like, yeah, he just didn't really care. I came back from the hotel like drunk the night before an away game, and he just didn't say a single word to me. I was like, all right, yep.
Damn.
I talked with him a little bit at the Senior Bowl, and I was just like, I'm trying to give you flowers here, my guy.
Wow. Well, man, let me move on to the linebackers. Speaking of Ryan Day, Sonny Styles.
That's a monster.
I literally hold on, guys. Let me see. It's so funny that you bring up Sonny Styles because one of the bigger content creators for the Giants texted me today, and he says, "I'm not all the way seeing it with Sonny Styles. Am I tripping?" And I said, "No, you're not tripping. We said the same thing. We ultimately got like a second round grade on him. Like it's not the fact that he's not good,
Right.
but there's some obvious issues between him." Guys like Jacob Rodriguez and Jake Golday that me and Sora are high on. So it's like Sonny Styles plays the linebacker position.
He's not a linebacker, dude.
He has a mentality that he is still playing safety.
Yeah, he's the last line of defense, and yeah.
He's not a gap plugger whatsoever. He's so hesitant at the line of scrimmage. He engages with offensive linemen. I'll tell you my measuring stick. And people are gonna laugh in the comments because I've said this before. I'll say it again. Edgerrin Cooper is the measuring stick for every single linebacker in college football. If your tape don't look like Edgerrin Cooper or close to it, that's the gold standard for me to put you remotely high on my list. Sonny Styles is not that. But is he athletic? Yeah, everybody saw the combine numbers. Everybody saw, like, I don't know if you've seen a picture of his dad. Like, this dude is a tank standing next to his two sons. Like, yeah, he has great, he came from a great gene pool, but that doesn't make you a great NFL player. And I don't think that he's the number one overall linebacker in this class. And if the Giants draft him, I'm just gonna be like, why'd you guys pass up on Caleb Downs?
Well, here's the thing, and I do think the Giants are gonna end up drafting him, especially after losing Bobby Okereke. And I've mentioned this before on a previous Giants podcast. My biggest fear, and I know it's different defensive coordinator, no, it's different like head coach regime when he was on there. My biggest fear is that they're gonna treat him exactly like how they did with Isaiah Simmons. Because Sonny Styles still has that safety tendency. You can see him hesitate a little bit and try to like backpedal back as if he's the last line of defense. Your linebacker, stay at the linebacker position. Like, dude has, and dude was also a all-star basketball player. Like
Hey, Sora, Authentic literally said that, and you didn't see these text messages before the show. He said, "I see Isaiah Simmons."
Did Authentic really message you that just now?
Yeah. No, not just now, but earlier when we were talking about Sonny Styles.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because I don't even have Authentic's number, so that's really funny that he said that.
Yeah, but he is a safety though. I remember
he was a safety when he first got to Ohio State, and then he put on like 40 pounds and became
but he
did the opposite of what Peter Woods did.
Yeah.
He still takes safety steps though.
What was the reason? What was the reason for him getting those 40 pounds? Was that something personal, or was that something that
just to play linebacker? Because you ain't gonna be able to play linebacker without that weight.
I'm saying, was it his doing?
Had to be. I mean,
I'm sure it was. I'm sure that was like an agreement between him and what's his name that was there before. Oh my god. Jim Knowles. Jim Knowles when he was a defensive coordinator. Because Jim Knowles likes really big. Like if you look at what's the dude's name, Nick Hunter,
right,
or Nick Martin, that was at Oklahoma State when Jim Knowles was still there. Like these guys are not tiny dudes at linebacker. So if you're gonna want to play in a Jim Knowles defense, you're gonna need to beef up. That's just the archetypes that he looks for. And I think that's just what Sonny Styles was like. Yeah, we want to put you at linebacker, but we're gonna put you on this mill plan and get you right.
I think part of it was also the talks of like, yes, I think these are conversations that were had with Jim Knowles, but I think it's also we have Caleb Downs here as well. You're still an athletic player. Like we want both of you on the field. So I think getting Caleb Downs also kind of led to the talks of being put at linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just my running theory of it as well. I think Caleb Downs also kind of somewhat played a big part. It's like, all right, where can we put you now to where we can have these two guys?
Gotcha. Let me move on to safeties. All right, y'all guys already talked about Caleb Downs and how y'all feel about him. Who else in the safety position you feel that's worthy of high draft choices, of a draft choice?
Dylan Thieneman and AJ Halsey.
Yep. And then it's everybody else.
Really in this class.
It's really like Caleb Downs, and then you take a huge step down, and Dylan Thieneman, and then you take another huge step down. It's AJ Halsey. Like, I think Dylan Thieneman is as fringe as a first rounder as you can get if you need one. So I'm okay with that. I mean, the obvious pick for him to go to that everybody mocks is like going
Minnesota.
to the Vikings because they just lost Harrison Smith, and you plug another white boy safety in, and it just feels like home.
It's between like it's gonna be Minnesota, and then if not, then probably Philly, because exactly the same thing. You lose Blankenship, you'll plug in another white boy safety.
Wow.
Yeah. AJ Halsey from LSU really surprised us though, because there's a lot of people that love Emmanuel McNeil-Warren from Toledo, and I think he gets burned up the seams. I don't see him being very fast. I think he's like quick at the line of scrimmage and can like bulldoze in for a tackle, but it doesn't make you a great safety, in my opinion. Like, AJ Halsey's all over the field, and he plays to the final whistle every single time. Like, I think in people's evaluation, if they just include effort, I think people overlook effort all the time. Like, you remember when Marvin Harrison Jr. got drafted, and everybody was like, he's a sure bet. In college, he was the dude. Like, but on his film, when you pull that back, he would just, if it was a blocking rep, he would just take a step forward and just look at the guy. And it's like, this dude's got no effort. And then he comes into the league and he has a really crappy first year. And we're just like, well, that kind of matches up because the dude's got, I mean, you look at his dad, Marvin Harrison Sr., like the dude was undersized and always having 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns every single year. Like, a Hall of Famer. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. Like, he's one of the greatest that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's like, you didn't get none of that work ethic from your dad, but then you got the size, the speed, the hands.
Bro, I mean, you just said it, right? Effort. And that's what we talk about in some of the other sports, man. I just need you to give me some good consolidated effort, man. Just some effort.
Forget about sports in regular day life. I mean, everyday life. You be asking people just some effort. You know, you may not have everything, but you put the effort, man. You got just a little bit.
Don't let nobody outwork you. I tell my niece, his daughter, hey, don't let nobody outwork you, man. Give some effort, man.
You know, it's funny. I had a one-on-one with my boss today, and
how'd that go?
He was like, well, we always have weekly one-on-ones, and he was like, hey, man, I'm hearing that the communication's been off between you and your team, and I'm like, from who? He didn't want to tell me. He was just like, well, the perception is that your team is like this. And so I proceeded to send every single email, Teams message, all this other stuff to him from this week and been like, so tell me who ain't been communicating about what. The perception is what? I said, there's obviously somebody on this team that don't like me for whatever freaking reason. And so he was like, oh, yeah, this makes a difference. But it's like that when you watch film too. It's like,
yes.
Yeah, you can pull up the stats. But when I pull down that all 22, are you in frame of the play every single time? Oh, I can see it. I can see that effort.
And you know, that's kind of the thing that we have with all three of those guys that we mentioned of Downs, Thieneman, and Halsey. It's like they're each good at their own different like perspectives. Like Thieneman, you're gonna get a ball hawk out there. Like he's gonna get these turnovers. He's gonna make these big hits. He was like what 5th in college football off of like solo tackles.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
Caleb
the one
Downs,
in overtime that picked off Drew Aller.
Yeah,
came out of nowhere and picked him off and ended the game.
Yeah,
that's effort. When you down there, he's like, I'm done with this, bro. We're ending this game and we're getting the hell out of Happy Valley and going back home.
The dude that's got the most effort, and there's a reason why we said he's generational talent, is Caleb Downs. I mean, dude is literally he's always in the frame of the play. We'll be doing Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles film study. Caleb Downs is still lurking in the background, bro. Like,
I'm not joking with you guys. If you never had the pleasure of we say this with all sincerity. Caleb Downs is the most relentless player that I've seen since those old school. Well, now they're considered old school guys, but like during my time, the Troy Polomalus, the Brian Dawkins, the John Lynch's, the Ed Reeds. Like he is the next Troy Polamalu, but on steroid. You remember his comps to me were Troy Polamalu, and you remember Jamal Adams when he got with the Jets?
Like
he's that together.
Year 1, year 2, Jamal Adams. Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, well, at number 5, the Giants better not mess up. According to
I'm telling you right now, if the
Giants,
Giants get Caleb Downs, because I'm sure I'm going to be sitting right next to Danté in that office, I'm walking out the door.
Yeah.
Oh, if the Giants don't pick Caleb Downs, it'll be a generational fumble. I even texted my buddy that's a Giants fan too.
I will be breathing a sigh of relief.
Mel Kiper in his final draft, I think he got him number 5 going to the Giants. So we'll see.
Okay, good, because I've been seeing Sonny Styles a lot
I've
going to the
seen
Giants.
Sonny
I'm
Styles.
like,
I've been
all
hearing
I
Sonny
see.
Styles' name since the beginning of the mock drafts, and I'm like, the name sounds nice. Now, let me tell you this. Now, if I was a marketing person, Sonny Styles, I got you, man. Let me tell you something. That
I mean, if
name
that were the
alone,
case, you just send him to Philly. Then it's always sunny in Philly.
yeah, Sonny Styles. Yo, that name alone is cool. But if
Did
you're
y'all hear
not that
this-
guy, I don't want you. Homie.
did y'all
Give me
hear the
Caleb
story
Downs.
about what Kool-Aid McKinstry said about him at Alabama?
No.
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 What Kool-Aid
This
said?
told me it told me everything I need to know about Caleb Downs. Well, first of all, Caleb Downs' brother is
Oh,
Josh
Caleb
Downs, who
Downs. I
plays
thought you were
wide
talking about Sonny
receiver
Styles.
for Indianapolis. So I don't know if you guys knew that, but they're brothers.
No.
But I heard a story from Kool-Aid McKinstry. He said when he came to Alabama as a true freshman, he said that there's certain markers for each position that are up there for like records in weightlifting. He said for all the DBs, Caleb came his first year and started breaking all of them. And Kool-Aid was like, oh, hell no, I can't let him come in here and do this to us.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he went and broke some of the, Caleb's records. But the moral of the story was like Nick Saban didn't really start no DBs when they're freshmen. And he was like, he only played 1 year at Alabama. He transferred to Ohio State and has been a starter this whole time. And so with all that being said, I'm like, Caleb's really that dude, man.
He's
To
a
come in
dog.
on a Nick Saban system and start as a true freshman is insane. And breaking weightlifting records and stuff where you got the veterans on the team feeling like, oh, hell no, man.
Yeah.
You can't
I
come in
mean,
and
that's
do
just
like this.
that's just a leader right there. Like, obviously, you're never gonna draft a rookie to be leader year 1, but like, give it maybe even year 2, dude's gonna have the C on his jersey. Like, depending where he goes, man.
No, he'll have it the first year because if he goes to the Giants, there's no way that.
Well, I'm saying if he somehow falls to a team in later rounds, like,
Oh yeah, I think he's going to be a captain anywhere he goes because that's another thing that Kool-Aid said was like he was immediately a leader for us as a freshman, like a silent leader. He's like he doesn't say that much, but his play on the field is what like the embodiment of what Nick Saban has always wanted in players is just to play with effort. And he's like, you will never see Caleb out of position, ever making a mistake. The juice is always flowing. Like he plays the first quarter or he plays the fourth quarter like he does in the first quarter. Just his motor just doesn't stop.
Yeah, and it's we were talking about the Troy Polamalu's comparison like that, but it's also the body language of Brian Dawkins, where he's like, I demand respect out of all of you. He's like, I'm gonna show you what I've got, every single one of you, and I want you to give that right back to me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This dude is like, pick any of your favorite safeties. It's in there somewhere.
Hey.
Caleb Downs was created in a lab. I just can't prove it yet.
It's so crazy watching it. It makes you, when you watch his film, you're like, how's this dude just this relentless, man? Like when people say, oh, this guy's sideline to sideline. No, he's the epitome of that definite. Like his picture would be in the dictionary, showed up next to sideline to sideline. Like
He'll be in another stadium if he's got to.
Damn.
Yeah, he's so good, man. If the Giants
Serious.
pass up on him, I'm gonna be so mad for you guys.
I'm gonna be so happy.
Hey.
No.
It's gonna be two sides of the spectrum, man. I'm sorry.
Okay, they got Jeremiyah Love going 4, Caleb Downs 5, Sonny Styles 6. Listen to Cowboys.
I was gonna say,
Cowboys supposed to be
D-Dubs.
moving up. Yeah. Is that Cowboys got 6 now, or did they move up to get?
No, Cowboys got 12. They got 12 and 20.
Yeah, they got 12 and like 20, I believe. Yeah.
So
Yeah, they got 12 and 20.
He must be thinking that they're going to get a trade for them to move up to 6, because I've been hearing
I've
Cowboys
seen
moving up to
that's been
6.
a recent rumor the past couple of days, is that Jerry Jones is wanting to take those picks and move up.
I think that there's
Ohio
4
State guy.
things that could flip this draft over. First of all, if the Raiders trade back, there would be pandemonium because 95% of Raiders fans are going to lose their mind if that happens.
Mel Kiper's going to throw another temper tantrum.
Oh yeah.
The other is if Jeremiyah Love gets drafted by the Cardinals, because the Cardinals running back room
At 3?
is James Conner, it's Tyler Algier, and it's Trey Benson. And so it doesn't make any sense, but that's like a big rumor that's going on. Or if somebody trades up and gets him. The other thing
why is that big
Simpson.
rumor going on all of a sudden? Who
I don't know.
Who started that?
And then if Ty Simpson goes to the Jets at 16, like I think all those things would flip this draft upside down.
I wanna add another one, which we haven't done a mock draft since, but you know, another one that I want to add is Kenyon Sadiq to the Ravens.
Oh, that's a hot one right now.
I think that's going to be another one, because you look at what they did with Isaiah Likely. That was, everybody was like, that's going to be the replacement for Mark Andrews. Plus, you're playing him on the cheap, and at times he performed better than Mark Andrews. But now he's with the Giants. Mark Andrews isn't going to survive another
Likely gonna be nice.
Yeah, Isaiah Likely.
I love it. I love it when
Mark Andrews is not going to survive another rookie 5-year contract. So now you're going to look at Kenyon Sadiq. By the time that contract runs up, there's going to be money to extend Sadiq.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, they got more pressing needs, I think. But I think for the Ravens at that point, you take best player available, and I don't know, man. I could see Kenyon Sadiq there.
Sadiq, that name.
I don't know, Giants. Yeah, I don't know, man. Giants, I just better pray next week.
I'm gonna be counter praying. I'm just letting you know right now.
And the Giants fan base is really split on Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs, and I'm like, I just don't see why. Like, it's obviously people that just have not seen Caleb Downs play. Because if I wish I could get every single rep from both of those guys, all 12 games this year, and just throw it at them and just say, I'm gonna erase the number off the jersey, and then you tell me which player you like better. And I bet you everybody comes away like, damn, Caleb Downs is everywhere.
I feel like I've seen the 33-33-33 split of it's either Downs, Styles, or Jeremiyah Love if he's there. And I kind of want to do the family feud of just take 100 random Giants fans and be like, out of these three, which one are you wanting, man?
The family feud?
Yeah, too. We asked 100 Giant fans.
Yo. Seriously though, you're right about that. It would be split because we definitely need a safety, and the running back situation is kind of and Sonny Styles, I mean, just going off his name and everything you heard, everybody's just been hyping up. That's why I don't really trust this. That's why I'm glad that you guys are here. You give me another perspective of what I've been hearing and what. And it's like, what'd you say, Kat?
The specialist.
Yeah. Listen, because I pull up Mel Kiper because he's just he's wrong almost every year. So I don't really put too much stock into him. But based off,
you said Shedeur could drop as low as 5, and this dude was like, "Oh, he's the best."
Yeah,
and then when he dropped to the 5th round, me and Sora looked at each other like, we tried to tell everybody that this was a possibility.
Yeah. So only thing we could do is cross our fingers on this one and see. Hopefully, if that's the case, Caleb Downs will be a Giant at 5. But if Tennessee, I don't know, they got Tennessee taking Jeremiyah Love, so.
And that would be a good spot for him, I think.
Yeah.
I would be super excited for the Titans for the fact that, okay, I'm not necessarily a big fan of their new jerseys, but because I'm like,
what they got now? I like the dark blue.
I did too. I just didn't like that helmet. I wish they would have did something different with the helmet. I like their jerseys from the ones before that, where they had the two-tone joints with the white pants.
Yes,
that was dope
with
too.
The white helmets. I just always remember Marcus Mariota was the last one. He looked dope in those jerseys. So I was like, damn, that's a good aesthetic. The powder blue joints.
I think I saw you said something about the Commanders jersey or their logo too.
Oh, he remade the logo.
Yeah, I remade the logo.
Right? It was, yes, that's what I saw. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the fact that it makes sense for them because they've been trying to find their identity ever since the Redskins thing dropped off. So them going back makes sense because everybody was like, well, if you're not going to change the name, give us something familiar to root for. So
absolutely.
And I like that they did that. Now, what the Titans did is they went back and did the old Oilers colors.
Correct.
Yeah.
And redid the whole jerseys. And I'm like, well, here we go. They're just trying to rehash the old and whatever.
Those would have been cool for a color rush or a throwback.
Exactly.
Not as a permanent one.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like with what the Bengals did with the cocaine whites.
The Houston Oilers, man. it makes it hilarious because it's like, well, Tennessee's got the powder blue and the pink now, and Houston's got the Texans, and that they had a jersey that was kind of honoring that too. And it's like, now you guys competing with each other.
And but I thought the Titans was stopping the Texans from kind of wearing that stuff. Am I correct on that?
They did,
Yeah.
but they still kind of like, I think it's their black ones where they're still trying to honor it by having like a neon red design and like with the like they're making it like Houston like in your face, like this is us, like, and then doing something like a powder blue logo, but all of them are black. It's black, powder blue, and like neon red. So I don't know. It's so funny that they're just like somebody just.
I know.
Suck it up.
I know we went off on a little bit, and we're gonna get back in the draft here for a second. But I'm of the persuasion of if your sports franchise moves, you need to leave everything there. The color scheme, the records, all that stuff. That's just my opinion on that.
I agree.
The was it the Supersonics? They moved to what? They were the only ones that not only ones, but recently that got it right. OKC, they don't own none of the records. So when Seattle reinstalls the this version of the Supersonics, all the records and all their stuff is there. Even Gary Payton, they wanted to retire Gary Payton's numbers, the OKC, and he said no.
For OKC?
Yeah. It was like,
that don't even seem right. That's crazy.
I never played at OKC. He said, I'm Sonic, bro. He says, I got it. The team moved from Seattle. He said, but he said respectfully, he said, I'm going to decline. And when the team comes back to Seattle, hey, they'll move. They'll do that, man. So
I think it's hilarious when teams move to different cities and don't just change everything. Like the Raiders, for example, like it's the Las Vegas Raiders. Doesn't make sense market wise, yeah, because you would have 3 California teams.
Yeah.
I don't like, why did the Rams leave? I mean, I understand why the Rams left St. Louis. Like, you ever been to St. Louis before? It's not a place that you want to be.
Not a marketplace.
But still, like, you just collapsed the whole market with like people still use that stadium there and everything. Who knows that like the market couldn't have gotten better with the whole rebrand, and like they just recently won a Super Bowl with Matt's. That would have been so crazy if they would have traded for Matt Stafford and would have won in St. Louis. How good that would have been for the city. Like, California don't need a new stadium. They don't need SoFi Stadium. The Chargers leaving San Diego was crazy.
They got enough publicity, man. You know how many teams? Even outside of football, man. Like,
yeah, that's another crazy thing. We had a young lady that we had on the show, and she says it, man. Yeah, the Chargers are in LA, but they're pretty much an afterthought. I mean, you know,
it's every time somebody comes and plays at SoFi, it's the Rams Stadium. It's not the Chargers. That's just like when people say about the Raiders.
Rams house.
They suck so bad that it's everybody else's stadium, not the Raiders.
I heard about that too.
As the Chiefs won a Super Bowl there, yeah.
Let me move on to cornerbacks, man. The cornerback position. I got what are your thoughts about Mansour Delane and Jamar McCoy and Colton Hood? I think you guys said something about Colton Hood before.
Yeah, you want to talk about Mansour Delane, Sora?
Yeah, so Mansour Delane's my number one. Okay. McCoy is his number one. As I try to find my list for the wide receivers and cornerbacks that I had. Where was it? But yeah, I mean, Mansour Delane, it was the 2 bright spots on LSU's defense were Mansour Delane and AJ Halsey. In my opinion, nobody was able to reroute another receiver. And reroute's probably not the right word, but like Mansour Delane was all over you, no matter where you were. He would throw you off balance. He would just all of a sudden you would go run a slant, and then Delane would just direct you elsewhere. It's like, I guess I'm running this now. Like, this dude is on my back like a backpack right now. It was, yeah, dude was just athletically. He was always on the ball, always attacked the ball, and he was just stuck on you. You couldn't get rid of him, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jamar McCoy, I mean, towards ACL last year.
Right.
And it sucked for him, but to come back and run a 4.3 with a totally repaired ACL is like insane. It's I don't know what lab he came after. Like he's insane. Shout out to Colton
Same
Hood.
lab they made Caleb Downs in.
Yeah, that too. But shout out to Colton Hood. Colton Hood, again, another guy to transfer from Colorado and ended up being a world-renowned corner at this point in time. But he held his own when Jermod went out, and had a great offseason, had a great Senior Bowl. One of the guy that everybody's high on. But when I say the best thing about Jermod McCoy, and I think everybody's played Madden or NCAA here, and when you just whooping somebody's ass, that like they just start chucking it downfield to try to get up on the scoreboard, and you're like, I'm gonna just drop my safeties back and play prevent and just pick you off every time.
Right.
Jermod McCoy is the corner that follows the guy, and he's almost like running in front of him because he's not as fast as him, and then you press like the left trigger to turn the guy around, and you jump up and intercept it. That's Jermod McCoy.
Yes.
He like, it's almost like he plays with the wide receivers like, bro, you're not as fast as me, and I'm gonna pick this ball off, and there's nothing that you're gonna be able to do. Like, it's some of the most fun film that you can watch on the corner.
I think part of it as well with Jermod McCoy is the same thing that we compared with like Tacario Davis, where he just baits the receivers a little bit.
Oh, he absolutely confuses quarterbacks. I mean, I would have hated to play against Jermod.
Yeah.
Like,
more on Mansour Delane, because I finally found what I was looking for. One of the big main ones is, when he first played at Virginia Tech was heavy in zone defense. When he went over to LSU, they were heavy in man coverage. So you're looking at whatever scheme, like whatever, formation you're heavy in, whether it be man or zone, Mansour Delane's got it covered, man. In his career, 8 career interceptions, 27 passes defended, didn't allow a touchdown at LSU for 2 years. The fluidity in his hips are smooth. It don't matter what coverage you run, man, zone, he's got it covered. I don't know. Somebody mentioned it earlier, like way earlier at the beginning of the stream, something about A-Chain with the Dolphins. That's where I can see Mansour Delane going. I think that would be an amazing pickup for the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Dolphins need
Mansour.
They don't need a Jermod McCoy. Jermod McCoy is one of those guys that needs to go to like the Chiefs because he'll fit their scheme a lot better.
Yeah, and Jermod McCoy, even which, I don't know if you had mentioned this, to go from pretty much what cornerback 2 would have been, or not Jermod McCoy, Colton Hood, to go from CB2 being thrusted into CB1, like he filled in those shoes pretty great. So if Colton Hood goes to like a later team where he can start off at CB2, get used to the NFL there, and then transition over to CB1, like as CB1 gets older or whatever and retires, would be amazing for him.
Yeah.
So,
originally, we had him at the Rams, and then they got Trent McDuffie, and then we all cried.
Jermod reminds me of your nephew's old teammate, Siobhan Ravel.
Ravel, wow.
Yeah, he reminds me of him a little bit. I think Siobhan was a little bit more physical than him.
Right.
But Jermod and Mansour are just like 1A, 1B. I mean, if you had Mansour as your number 1, I could see it. I think Mansour is as close to Patrick Surtain than any corner in this draft.
Wow.
Like, because I can see Pat Surtain playing safety later on in his career.
Gotcha. Let me move on to tight ends. You guys got Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon. You got him in the going number in the first round, or where you guys got him going?
Yeah, I think
go first round.
He's not
my tight end 1 though.
Yeah.
Oops. I can't say who my tight end 1 is because we didn't do the show, but let's just say people on Twitter have started picking up on him, and Danté and I are just sitting there like, look who's decided to join the party.
I'm gonna just say it, man. It's your 500 episode. We gotta get.
Yeah, you know what? Fine, screw it. We'll spoil it. Happy 500.
Yeah, we'll spoil it for
Roush
tomorrow.
is tight end number 1 in this class, man.
Yeah,
at least for me, he is.
Well, you have Sam Roush. I have Michael Trigg from Baylor.
That is true, man. Yeah, you have Michael Trigg. I got Sam Roush.
But I put Sora on the Sam Roush though. I was like, yo, he's that dude. At the Senior Bowl, he was awesome. Tape is awesome. Smart kid. I mean, he went to Stanford, so you already know he's got the smarts up top too. And something about them Stanford tight ends that just come out of nowhere and just do really well in the NFL too.
Yeah.
But Michael Trigg for me from Baylor, the dude is huge. He's a great blocker. He goes up, gets the ball from anywhere. I don't see that from Kenyon Sadiq, even over those 2 guys that we mentioned. I think people see Kenyon Sadiq as like this dude that looks like he looks like an action figure.
Yeah.
People are so obsessed
He
about
looks like a
guys that
comic
look
book
physically
character,
fit.
It's the presentation with these people, man. They go when they see somebody built like that, and it plays with them on their mind as like, this is the guy. This is what you got. He's a stud. Look at him. He's this big. He's 6 whatever.
Yeah.
And like just like you said, look like a superhero. So
I bet you people would be higher on Brock Bowers if he was to shave his head and look like a serial killer coming out in the draft and having a receding hairline.
He could have probably gone higher than Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, he probably would have went higher than the Raiders if he would have did that, because people are, oh man, he means busy. He look like a serial killer. But nah, he's a white dude, clean shaven, got the receding hairline, and just don't care.
I was about to say, man, it's time to
just bring it home, bro.
Just bring it home, brother.
Bring it on in. What was y'all? What's this guy Eli Stowers or
Eli
Vanderbilt?
Stowers? Eli Stowers is a really amazing story because I think he started out as a quarterback. Then
yes,
he went to New Mexico State with what's his name, Diego Pavia. Then they transferred out together to Vanderbilt. So their story is like really cool because they've always stayed with each other. I like Eli Stowers. I think he's one of the best catching tight ends in his class. Like, honestly, think if he slimmed down, he could play wide receiver.
I
don't really see him as a
you
true
say
tight
that
end.
there have been talks of him moving him to wide receiver.
Oh my
they
god!
say he's a pure receiver.
Like you say that, but there have been talk. It was almost the same thing of like with Johnny Wilson though when they were talking about moving him. But it's different of like, oh, Johnny Wilson was just because he's a big, or moving Johnny Wilson to tight end. It's like, oh, just because you a big dude.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the more. I feel like a tight end that doesn't get talked about a lot, which, again, when we get to our show, we'll talk about a little bit. But Max Clare out of Ohio State, I feel like that is just Mr. Reliable. Like I call Jeremy Bernard like the reliable wide receiver. Max Clare's the reliable tight end. You need a first down, just send him out there. He's got it.
Him out there, hands guy.
Yeah, him and Cac Merrick were really good because they kind of ran like that 2 tight end set down there at Ohio State. I'm not as high on those guys, but yeah, Max Clare was like anytime you needed a first down, he was your first down guy for sure. When people double team. I mean, everybody knows the talent that Jeremiah Smith is too, and Carnell Tate. But when Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis were all locked up, Max Clare was one of those guys, and he's a really good blocker. He might be the best blocking tight end in this class, next to Oscar Delp from Georgia.
I was gonna say Oscar Delp, man.
That dude runs like Brock Bowers. He looks like Brock Bowers.
Really?
But he doesn't play like Brock Bowers.
No, he
like,
doesn't.
Oh, damn. That could be a
when
problem.
You watch him run, if I was to put them side by side with each other, take the number off, you think they're the same person, bro. Like they play just the same.
Brock, well, he came out of Georgia, right? Brock.
Brock
Brock
Bowers.
was
Well, it was crazy too, because like for the one, actually, it was just one game where Brock Bowers was injured and Oscar Delp. He picked right up where Brock Bowers left, and so it led from there of like everybody being like, yeah, when Brock Bowers is gone at the end of this year.
Yeah, we thought it was just going to be some of the same.
Which again, let's talk about how Brock Bowers was supposed to be out for the entirety of the season in college after that injury, and he missed one whole game.
No, he missed 2, I believe.
Was it 2?
No, it was 3 because he got surgery, and they were like, yeah, he might be done for the season. He came back 3 games later and just picked up right where he left off.
It's just like, oh, okay,
okay,
this man's just Superman. Got it. Cool. Great.
Yeah, because he missed those 3, and he was in talks to win his 3rd John Mackey Award, and possibly could have won it if he didn't miss. All he had to do was like miss 1 game. He probably would have been okay. But yeah, he was on pace to win his 3rd John Mackey Award in a row for the best tight end in the country.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Man. I mean, you see it with the Raiders. That's like the only good player to have.
That's the only thing they got going on is in Raider land. So, they got a lot of things to fix up there.
That's the only Raider jersey I have in the closet is Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
And I don't buy rookies.
Yeah. Did you get that at Vegas too?
Yep, I was in Las Vegas with my wife. And I was like, man, I always want to buy a jersey or something. I was like, man, everybody on the Raiders kind of sucks. And I like Trey Tucker, but I'm like, I'm not going to get a Trey Tucker jersey. And then they were like, oh, you can customize your jersey. And this is before they even had Brock Bowers jerseys out. I was like, give me a custom Brock Bowers jersey. So I had it custom made right there at the.
That's amazing.
That
part I didn't know. I didn't know that it was custom. I thought you had
it.
it.
It's a custom one.
It could be worse. It could be the custom Trevor Lawrence Jets jerseys.
Oh shoot.
Well, like Sora said,
I wish that would
I want to
have.
know where
no
that dude's
Jets.
at right now. I want to know how he's doing.
Oh Lord.
I guess he saw something that we all didn't see. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, I just hope Trevor can keep up the last 5 games, like what he did the last 5 games now. But
Yeah.
I have no faith. I have no faith.
but Bayshall
5
too,
games
season.
doesn't really turn the leaf for me just yet.
Okay, I got you.
It's Bayshall Tootin season though.
Let me go to this, draft smoke versus reality. Who you think you guys think who might make some kind of big splash, a big move next Thursday in the first or second round to kind of switch things up, in your opinion? Who has the balls or guts or whatever?
Man, it's so hard to say because we don't really do mock drafts with any trades, but we know that it's a possibility that there's going to be a ton of trades that happen in this.
Of course. Yeah.
There's going to be, because there's so many teams that have multiple first rounds, like it's going to be used to move, which is why, again, I think that leads to the Raiders should honestly trade back. Like there's so many teams
100%
with multiple picks. Like
It's
Philly's
so
got
obvious.
multiple second and third rounders. Like I don't think they're going to stay put at 23, which is why if a guy like because there's been so many, granted, the mocks aren't set in stone. This isn't scripture, but there's been so many where like Caleb Downs falls past 12. If that happens, Philly's trading up and grabbing him. Like
No, I made a scenario with the Raiders fan the other day. I said Arizona needs a quarterback. Jacoby Brissett ain't their future.
No.
You don't think the Cardinals calling right now, they would be like,
Hey, man.
what do you need? Oh, you need a wide receiver? We'll give you Marvin Harrison Jr. right now.
Right now.
And
Like
swap
right now.
our picks and give you our first next year. You think the Raiders are saying no to that?
And he's like, yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah.
hey, it's the movie Draft Day
on.
all over again. It's like, yeah, all right.
Like they got Michael
I would
Wilson
be
and Trey McBride. They'll be all right.
Yeah.
I would be so
for
off
sure.
of Marvin Harrison Jr. so fast. I would be like, yo, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah,
There you
goodbye.
go.
Yeah, because it's
I'm
like,
just
Yeah,
saying.
especially with Michael, Michael Wilson not coming out of nowhere because we knew, but like emerging as one of the best young players on that team. Like, yeah,
man, Michael
Yeah,
Wilson was
listen.
balling at the Senior Bowl. It is not a surprise why he's so
we
good
were
right now.
like, yeah, we saw this, the prophecy.
I
Yeah.
will say that I think the Steelers may make a splash move and draft Drew Aller in the first round,
Yeah.
and everybody's gonna be like, "Boo!" And I'm gonna be like, "Y'all got to think that dude's from Medina, Ohio, which is not that far away from Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
It's not that far away from Happy Valley where he played, and he just seems like a Steeler. Like he looks, the way that he played, he's the most underappreciated quarterback in this draft." And I think if he would have played the full season and would have been decent, I don't think anybody would have had a question that he might have been a number one. Because last year, if he would have came out, he would have got chosen over Cam Ward, just based on potential. I truly believe that. But I think Pittsburgh, I don't know if Will Howard is going to be their guy. I'm a Will Howard guy. I want to see him at least get a shot. But you're telling me if Drew Aller is there, that's got all the talent of the world, man, and
It's going to be
remind
Drew
you of
Eller or
Big
Ty
Ben,
Simpson.
remind you of Big Ben with the size and everything, man, that's going to feel right at home for a lot of Steelers fans.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Steelers either Drew Aller, Ty Simpson if the Jets don't take him at 16.
That'd be funny if Cleveland trades up and drafts a quarterback too. Let's say Carson Beck comes out of the first round.
I don't think he'll come out of the first round, but I'm telling you, I think Carson Beck is a Brown, man.
Danté, don't you start, bro.
Todd Monken, I think Carson Beck's a Brown.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, this was a conversation you and I had at the combine before he even started on his pro day of like, what's the likelihood that Todd Monken drafts Carson Beck and reunites with him?
Man, the man said he said he's nobody's being selected yet. Everybody's going through the gauntlet before.
Yeah. And I mean, again, I think quarterback at round 1 makes the most sense for Pittsburgh. I mean, I think they've almost done damn near every single quarterback they could for their top 30. They did Talon Green. They've done Drew Lahr. They've done Ty Simpson. I think they did Nussmeier too. Like,
I think the team that could. I feel like if Ty Simpson is still there after 16, the team that could pull the Michael Penix Jr. this year is the Vikings. JJ McCarthy, Kyler Murray, and Ty Simpson in the same room. One of them dudes got to step up and be good. Like
somebody got to put the controller down and say, "Yo, let me play football, real football."
Yeah. But I feel like
the
KOC,
PlayStation sticks.
I feel like that's just a KOC type guy because you got again. It goes back to just the mental makeup of that dude. It's like you were able to carry your team, and you're gonna make a difficult throw and get the ball to our best receiver time and time again. Justin Jefferson would have 3,000 yards by the season's over if Ty Simpson goes there.
Yeah, and what's crazy too is one of the teams that I think might do a hot splash. I don't think they'll do it in the first round, but I think in one of the first 2 rounds. I think the Texans are going to draft a quarterback in the second round, maybe.
The Texans?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think they're the team to pull the Michael Penix move.
I can see that. Did you see?
I don't know if it'll be the first round because they need, offensive lineman help, but
that was bad. That last game was bad.
I say wow, but like you said, I could see it and I could understand it because somebody got to light a fire under his ass for that performance. I mean, it was awful. So I can see that.
You want me to tell you a story about the Jaguars?
Yeah, go ahead.
Trevor Lawrence had C.J. Beathard back him up for 3 years. Was C.J. Beathard ever going to threaten Trevor Lawrence's job?
No.
What did we do last year? We went and got what's his name from Memphis?
Seth Hennigan.
Seth Hennigan. We ain't got Seth Hennigan. That put a little bit of pressure on him, and people started talking about, Seth Hennigan is having a really good preseason. Yeah, because it's a young dude that's not a veteran that's going to come in there and Seth Hennigan knew. I was just on John Gruden's quarterback camp and all that stuff. Like, I'm coming here to be the guy.
Yeah,
I mean, it was the same thing as well with like Mac Jones. Mac Jones wasn't really gonna threaten Trevor Lawrence's job. It was just kind of
I'm here,
not the journeyman, but it was I'm here to provide depth. Because you saw what he did with the 49ers, and it was like, he showed that he probably could be a starter on another team.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I think that's not far off for CJ Stroud because like CJ Stroud is a couple conversations away from being a what
they exercised his 5th-year option. So he
what's funny, guys? Remember when we were talking about CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, and I was like, it would have been the same situation if they would have got drafted to other places, but long term, I think if Bryce Young was on the Texans, they would have had more success than they did right now. And CJ Stroud would have been like this. And now Bryce Young's going like this.
See, now I was about to say he's starting to find his groove now with the Panthers. Like after the what's his face? After he got benched in year 2 and Andy Dalton got in that car crash, you started seeing him do it as a rise. Panthers up and down a little bit. They needed a bit more pieces. But then we saw what that
McMillan, and it was over.
And somebody told David Tepper to shut up and just own the team.
Dude,
and David's been quiet. Yo, I ain't got nothing to say about David Tepper. He's been really quiet.
He's been good. I got my
that Panthers-Rams game on that wild card.
Yeah.
Like, people got to put more respect on Bryce Young for that, dude. They were down early, and they almost came back and won that because of him.
From what he came from, Sora, to your point, from what he came from, and what adversity was, they was about to throw him away. I was like, the Panthers just strike again. They just gonna give up on another quarterback, man. And somebody got in David Tepper's ear and told him to sit down and shut up and just be a hedge fund, whatever you do on the side, whatever you got this money to do, and just own the team and let the professionals run.
Yep, pretty much. Go get me another wide receiver. Well, what's funny too is their head coach. Somebody was talking about like, oh, well, you went with Leggett first round 2 years ago, then you went with Tet.
Right.
It was like, surely you're not going to go wide receiver in the first round again. He went, there's no rule saying I can't do that.
Yeah. Well, at least they've been trying. And I have to kind of give a little bit of pause to the Panthers too, because from Bryce Young's perspective, Jonathan Brooks got drafted for the Longhorns, and he's never played a game, I don't think. He's been hurt both years.
Nope.
Jatavion Sanders is supposed to be this great tight end. He's been injured like this too. And then Xavier Legette has been injured and just hasn't stepped up to the plate. But then you draft a Tedero McMillan, and then you go pick up a Rico Dowdle last year to kind of like see what your potential could be. And then they went in and they worried about their offensive line, just like they did with Caleb Williams for the Bears. They made a big emphasis in their offseason last year to go in and build up the offensive line to protect those guys. And so I had Dave Canales and the crew. I think they've been doing a fantastic job of getting the Panthers out the rut as well. And the same thing, like the parallels are so similar to what's going on with the Saints right now with Kellen Moore. Like Kellen Moore took, man, y'all know I love Tyler Shuck, man. And I was like,
say that's your man's in there, Tyler Shuck.
I was like, I love Spencer Rattler too.
Talking to him at the Senior Bowl.
He was an awesome dude, man. But I was like, if you're going to start Tyler Shuck, it's got to be later. You can't start him at the beginning. See what you got with Spencer Rattler. And it was like me and Kellen Moore were on the same wavelength. He was like, I'm gonna give Spencer a shot until he just can't do it anymore. Then Tyler Shuck came in and took the bull by the horns, and
I think that's
offensive rookie of the year.
Going back to it, I think that's the exact game plan that needs to be done with Fernando Mendoza, with Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
Keep going until Kirk can't give me no more.
Well, it happened with Jackson Dart too.
Yeah.
Like the formula works. Like let these until you have no other choice to put these guys' feet up the fire. Yeah. Sit them down.
Sit them down.
That's what we stated with so many quarterbacks in the past. Like even though it was week 3, that was what they did with Baker Mayfield. You know, Justin Herbert. It wasn't until a doctor like foul played, stabbed Tyrod Taylor in the lung. It was even the same thing with Jalen Hurts. They were like, Carson Wentz literally can't get anywhere else, man. Jalen, there's 4 weeks left.
Tyrod Taylor.
Get out there. They did. They tried to kill that man.
Tried to kill the man.
But it was the same thing with Jalen Hurts as well. Carson Wentz was giving us nothing. They were like, "There's 4 weeks left in the season. Go out there and get him."
Yeah.
And then Doug Peterson in his final moments said, "We're tanking against the Giants."
One of the first predictions I made going back when we were the Go for 2 podcast was watching that live when the Eagles picked Jalen Hurts, and I said, "Oh my God!" I said, Carson Wentz better count his days because that man gonna come in and start eventually.
So what happened when pressure's put on you, man?
Exactly.
You see the two sides of the spectrum. You can either turn into Carson Wentz or you can win back-to-back MVPs like Aaron Rodgers.
There you go.
Hence, that's why Danté, you probably need to do something about that rule about drafting quarterbacks.
I mean, every time I tell somebody that, they're like, "Oh, that's horrible," and then it's like, nope. I'm tired of teams that are bad just continuously to stay bad because we don't have a relegation system like soccer, and I don't think that will really work in our sport. It would be fun, but these guys' careers are so short, so it wouldn't work. And then you're just adding way too many games onto their careers where they're not going to be great. But let's say a guy is in the relegation league for 6 years and then goes up, has 2 great years, and then tears his ACL and his career's over. It's like people are not going to want to see that. And then you start getting into like the records issues. So our sport is what it is. But the things that we could change is only draft quarterbacks in the second round so you can determine your future for your team and draft in another talent that's not a quarterback. Also, on the flip side of that, every 5 years, you have no salary cap. So you can go in there and you can just ball out with money and try to do something. And so I think if you do that every 5 years and have quarterbacks can only get drafted in the second round, watch how crazy and how much parity that there would be in the NFL year to year, because nobody would be able to predict, like, man, what team is going to be good? I don't really know. Like, and then let's say that year 4 comes around, you're like, okay, 2030, we get the no salary cap. How crazy free agency would be. The NFL would be the most popular sport in the world if that happened, because it would just get crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking about it now. Like, no salary cap. We could actually go bid on and get somebody if we.
You know why I thought about that, D-Dubs? Is because the Jaguars, the Browns, the Raiders, like these teams that have been like first round picks like almost every year for a long time, they can't get out of the rut because where's their thought process? Got to get a quarterback. Got to get a quarterback. Got to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
And plus, the other thing, like when I was telling people about the Christian Kirk, remember when everybody's like, he got overpaid to come to the Jaguars? he got overpaid because nobody wants to come to Jacksonville. You guys have to understand this. Like, you have to overpay a talent like him to come and play in a market that's not favorable to him. Like, we're not going to win a Super Bowl, so what's the other thing that you can compensate me with is money. No, everybody's got a price tag, and so that's what he did. So, and when I start telling people this, they're like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense." I'm like, "Yeah," but if you had no salary cap every 5 years, every single team that's been at the bottom for a long time or just hadn't had luck in free agency, or they could go to with that Christian Kirk mentality. Like, I could go get a Max Crosby and offer him $500 million for 3 years if I wanted to, and go get Ray Lewis to come out of retirement. Like, like your salary cap won't determine anything other than what is my dollar value and how do I feel that I can increase this team's productivity for the next year. And so every team like the Browns and all these guys are not dependent on the draft and free agency. Now we're dependent on how much money did our organization really make at that 5-year period, and can we go in and afford guys and flip our roster around immediately?
But let me push back just a tiny bit, Don.
Oh yeah,
there's some franchises though, they continue to make foolish and crazy decisions, aka the Browns.
Yeah.
So how do you counteract that? Now we're not going to give you. Now we're just going to let you spend and just be crazy with it.
Well, that's a great question. I thought about this too. I think with the no salary cap is you'll see a lot of turnover that happens with GMs, and you'll start going to the financial side of a GM versus a roster building GM.
Well,
so guys like Howie Roseman would absolutely shit on everybody during a no salary cap situation.
I mean, he kind of already
because
does.
Not only can he finesse you
already,
well, he can finesse you with trades, he can finesse you with player contracts, and now you're telling me that I don't got a salary cap? I can make everybody.
My man's literally pushes millions of dollars down the road every year. He's like,
yeah.
But the important thing about Howie Roseman though is like his contracts are really, they're not front loaded, they're back loaded.
Yeah,
facts.
And so it helps his team out. So he's the best at negotiating with agents and saying, yes, Jalen Hurts may not be the highest paid quarterback, but we're going to take care of him on the front end by giving him a lot of guaranteed money while also helping our team succeed. And then now we can bring in the AJ Brown.
Well, and you put in as well on the side of it of what's its face? Jeffrey Lurie as well, for when it's will pay out of his own pockets for some of the stuff, like guaranteed money. He will pay some of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which not a lot of owners do that.
Well, and then in football, it doesn't have the deep history of baseball. I see what you're saying, Dana. It doesn't have the deep history of like the Yankees and the Dodgers and things like that. If it did, why did the Raiders suck? Why did the Rams not? They weren't all that good for a long time. The 49ers weren't good for a long time until Kyle Shanahan got there. So we're talking about all these legacy teams, like the Cowboys haven't gotten over the hump. So there's not a history there where like a lot of these teams have a bigger market than some people, but then also you're going to see how frugal people are with their money around the salary cap, the no salary cap period every 5 years, if that was to happen.
I think I speak for both Kevin and I when we say that's fine that the Cowboys haven't gotten over the hump.
Well, D Took made a great point last year about what's his name? They traded
Micah Parsons.
Yeah, when they made D. Remember when you said Jerry is tired of not getting no ROI?
Yeah, no return on investment, man. I mean, I keep on spending money, and I'm not. These guys are not. I'm not getting it back. So I mean, it's not. You can't blame. You can't say that Jerry doesn't go out and try and spend the money. He goes out and get it, but these guys is not producing. So I can understand. Yeah, listen, he just don't want to pay the money for Micah. That's just what it was.
I think there's another thing that I think a lot of people don't realize when I talk about the no salary cap thing and like every 5 years is, unlike in baseball where the Shohei Ohtanis are who they are, and you never really have to worry about injuries with baseball players a lot, right? And those guys play 180 something games a year, so you know what talent level that you're getting most of the time, and then you have a farm system which where these guys' talent level are. You get to evaluate it through 3 different levels. in the NFL, a lot of people are going to see these players as like Lamar Jackson is only worth $60 million a year universally through all the teams. So you could try to outbid us, Lamar, but you might only be a $61 million a year guy to one team. You might be almost 62, but everybody else, all the other 30 teams are got you at like a $60 million. So like you're not going to see these crazy contracts because all the owners are going to be on the same wavelength, I think, with each other at the end of the day. Like,
good point.
No, this dude's not worth that. So because you're not going to want to break the bank for not a sure thing.
Gotcha. Makes good sense to me, man. Gentlemen, I appreciate the conversation tonight, man. Yo, man, shout out to you guys, man. I
no doubt.
Really do appreciate what you guys have given tonight. Y'all always, bring the heat as far as I'm concerned. Hold on, round of applause for you guys. And respect and appreciate what you guys do, man. And for the NFL and college football and and the whole football space and the content creations, man. So shout out to you guys, man. And and we got to do this again, man. We'll probably do this around when football season starts. So that's how we usually get up with you guys, man.
Hey, Kevin, what real quick, guys, what y'all got coming up? Anything special going on? I know concerning the draft and anything. Y'all got anything going?
Yeah, so Sora will be down next Wednesday.
Okay.
And then we'll go live for the draft on the first day, and then the next 2 days will be in Pittsburgh watching it live in person. So that should be
definitely
a good experience, man. And I just did the Elite 11 here, the one in New York, so that was cool watching the young guys spin it. So if you guys didn't get to see,
I didn't get
the video I put together.
in New York, man. So
yeah.
Cool
So
deal.
I was up there at what's that college called right before you get to New York? It's like T something.
To where? Where's that?
Before you get to New York. It technically was in New Jersey, but it was like a T. I forget the college name.
Talking about Teaneck?
Yes, Teaneck. Yeah,
Teaneck, New Jersey.
it's like pretty much right before you get to New York, like Teaneck University.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's where they had the Elite 11 at in that area. So
Okay.
I'm still not used to going to New Jersey sometimes and somebody coming out and pumping my gas.
Oh yeah, they still do that, bro.
They still do that. Yeah.
I forgot this thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a culture.
I forget every time. Like I got out and a little Indian dude came out around the corner. I was like, "No, I got it for you, sir." Like,
oh,
don't shoot, homie, don't shoot.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting over here. I see the prices of gas. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna need this to be like the good Lord. Put this $4 gas into 5 pieces of bread, 2 fish, feed the entire tank, please.
That man said, "How much?" I'm like, "What you talking about, homie?" Oh,
how much am I gonna give you? None. Square up. Oh, you pumped my gas? All right. I thought you was trying to rob me. My bad.
Oh man. Before I let you go, guys, man. Real quick, you guys did like a rebranding real quick. What was behind the rebranding? You guys used to be East Coast Gridiron. Now you guys are Apex. Apex Gridiron now.
Yeah.
What made the rebranding and the change real quick for our people and you guys?
So this is around the time where Sora had just moved, so he had a lot of college stuff and new job and everything. So he kind of ventured away for a little bit, and then Logan came back for a little bit. And shout out to him. He's like,
shout out to Logan
and his bodybuilding career right now. So he's like really focused on that. And so I'm really happy about the things that we build as East Coast Gridiron. I just feel like at this point in time, a lot of the things that maybe it been attached to us need to just stay in the past. And so that was one thing. And this was when I was at the Senior Bowl, I was thinking about this. Like I was by myself at the time. I wasn't with everybody. So I kind of had a lot of time to kind of like see how everybody else was working with their brands and seeing how like, watching other people do interviews and seeing like when they introduce themselves and who they work for, I'm like, that just doesn't sound right. Like, and then to a player, like if I go, yeah, from East Coast Gridiron, I'm talking to a dude from Cal.
Yeah, like if I'm talking to Jacoby,
the hell do you know about me? But East Coast Gridiron was just me and Don were from the East Coast. We started it, and that's what it was. It was nothing more than that. we knew that we wanted Gridiron in the name. So now that I know, like, Gridiron is a staple for what we do. Like, you come to our channel, you know it's all around football. It's not around soccer, tennis, basketball.
No
Gridiron is
confusion.
always known to be football. Like, it's still funny when people come through and they're like, "You guys going to talk about the wrestling match last?" It's like, bro, you clicking on a channel that's called Gridiron Apex. We're not talking about, yeah, boo, boo this man. Like,
I remember Brock Lesnar duking it out in Lincoln Financial, you know, but yeah.
WrestleMania is this weekend, but go ahead.
Well, that is fair.
So I came up with a bunch of names that had Gridiron in it. I asked Sora, I asked Don, I asked even our audience, like, you know, start thinking about some names, and then I threw up a poll, and I was like, I don't want to go with the most popular. I'll go with what the second most popular, but the one that makes sense. And what was the one that like was the most popular? It wasn't like Gridiron.
I think it was Gridiron Chronicles.
Gridiron Chronicles was actually the #1 leading name. Even my wife liked that name. She's like, but I was like, it makes us sound like we're a publishing company for sports.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? Apex is another cool name.
Yes.
I just like, and it's short, and I don't have to type out a lot of things when I do it. So that was kind of like one side of thinking. And then I was like, when you think about the apex of something, it's the thing that brings everything together. Like,
yeah.
And so I was like, we talk about college, we talk about high school, we talk about NFL. The Gridiron Apex is what we are. And so the more I started saying it, the more I started like writing it down, the more I started doing the logo. Like, even our logo is familiar to the last one that we did when we did the rebrand for ECG. So I wanted it to be similar to that too. And it just, I even call my dad, who's a graphic designer. My dad is like the biggest critic of all time of anything. And he was like, I love the logo. I love the name. I think the rebrand was the best shit that you could have done. And now we're starting to see the growth too. It's like, because we don't feel constricted to just like, if the next person comes through, they're not going to subscribe to us because they see East Coast and like we're talking about USC or talking about BYU.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter where
their elements and all that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where we're located now. We don't even have to say it. We could just say, hey, we're just here to talk football. So a lot of thought went into it, Kev, to be honest, man. And we let it marinate for a little bit, and we were just like, you know what, this just feels right. The logo feels right. Everything just came together in the right way. So so I did, you know, of course I started putting the logo like on t-shirts and everything just to see how it would look. And people really rock with it. So I got a lot of compliments after we rebranded. So yeah, like even Sora's wearing a hat right now.
Yeah. So I've got the hoodies in the closet.
Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much where it went down, man. I just kind of had like a come to Jesus moment at the Senior Bowl, and I'm just sitting down there thinking to myself, I'm like, you know, a lot of people have come through and help us build this, but they're not what defines what the rest of this is going to be moving forward. I know I've been the heart and soul of this operation for a long time. Out of everybody, you're going to see me all the time. And so, you know, like my wife said, she's like, you need to make a lot more decisions instead of getting everybody's input to on what you truly feel like that this should be, because a lot of people have come and gone over the years. But I'm to the point, like I told Sora, I'm like, at the end of the day, this is your shit too. You know, like I don't want it to feel like it's just me, but I want it to be yours as well. I want you to be proud of this is something that we built together. So, but I've always gone into that mindset, and I think our audience, they feel just like family to us as well. We're able to disagree and move on. And they catch when the trolls come into our comment section.
I was about to say, yeah,
especially you found the wrong channel, bro.
Dude, especially Torque, and it's kind of amazing seeing the you know, some of the older viewers and even some of the newer viewers like Popa or whatever. Like Torque's one of our older viewers, so like every time a troll comes in or whatever, or like also Torque will bring in the facts or whatever, and then you'll see kind of newer guys like Lincoln to Popa. They'll also come in with the facts. It's like sometimes we don't even got to say anything. We'll just let them deal with it.
Yeah. So I'm really glad that the people stuck on through the rebrand, and then our viewership is just kind of like going up since the rebrand too. So like when you see that happen, you're like, okay, then we just pulled on a lever that we didn't even know was there. And I'll always tell people, if you're scared about doing something, man, just sit on it, make sure you have a plan, because a goal without a wish is just an imaginary thought. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I went into this whole thing, man. So, but just like with you guys inviting us on, I feel like you're a part of it too. Like
100%.
Everybody that's put us on their channel or that we collaborate with, like everybody's part of the Apex at the end of the day. So I don't want this to feel like we didn't grow without all the support that we got. So definitely appreciate you guys as well. And again, congrats on your 500.
Yes, congratulations on that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Go ahead, D. You got something before we get out of here?
Nah, man. Nah, I ain't got nothing. Yo, enjoy this, man. As always, the talking football all the time. So, just like to see how all this stuff pans out, man, because you start, we start seeing these, these names go to the board. So it's fun times, man. We love, NFL draft, the whole thing. So
yeah, and one thing before we go, I did want to say, like, a lot of people ask us, like, what's the magic formula to getting subscribers and growing? I'm like, I always throw your guys' name in there. I always throw a lot of other people's name that I know it's just been like a slow burn, but we're just consistent. And I'm like, boom. I said, people don't understand this. You really have to think about it. When somebody goes viral, that means that everybody sees this one thing blow up. Yep. So then it makes it seem like everybody else that goes viral, that this just happens constantly, and it doesn't.
No.
Most of the people that grow the 20, 30, 40, 50, yeah, they might have gotten a break here and there. Like we've gotten a 1 million view video and maybe only got 30 subscribers from it. But the thing is like, just keep consistent. Always trying to find what's like, work on your thumbnails, work on your descriptions, work on your tags. Like, if you don't put as much effort into doing that as you did to make the video, then Absolutely. You're never going to see the reach. And if you don't post, you're never going to get outreach that way either. So that's all it is.
A lot of the like overnights, yes, you see it with YouTube channels, but you usually also just see it with like a lot of Twitch streamers or whatever. And then they just it's the consistency of like, you just keep coming back to it while you're riding that high, it's like, you don't be like, oh, cool, and then take a week off. It's,
and they keep doing the same thing that's not engaging too. I think that's the other thing. Like, you keep doing the same thing and not understanding what your audience wants to see. Like, to a certain extent, we're going to do what we want to do.
Right.
But we understand that the audience that we built is like film guys, and that's not the most popular thing. We understand that, like, some people like the documentary style stuff. Not everybody's going to watch that. But some people will. So, like, we understand our audience from that standpoint. Going live every day and doing watch parties and stuff, I don't think that's going to grow your channel, especially if you're not commentating on the thing that's happening and you're talking about anime. You're like, no, we're here to watch you watch the baseball game. Like, we're not here to see you talk about Goku and Dragon Ball Z. That's not what we're here to do. So
I will say this, and I know this is probably turned into how can I grow my channel, but I guess both of us, both our channels here, we're great and prime examples of, number one, being consistent, two, working on your craft, as you say. I have sucked at thumbnails, but you know what I did? I got me some, as they say, some education on how to do it, and I've absolutely gotten better. D-Dubs tell me the other day, he said, yo, bro, that thumbnail was fire, bro. What you doing, man? I said, no, I've been in the lab working, bro.
Yeah, that's all it is, man. It's the first impression with anything that you do in life. Like, you can't control what the outcome is after when people just assume, but you can control your first interaction with everybody, right? So that's why I always say, like, hey, if you think I'm an a-hole, that's your opinion.
Yeah,
but if you didn't give me a chance to get you out of the rut of thinking that way, then that's on you. That's not how I deal with everybody. I don't like him because he's I didn't like his face on his webcam. All right, well, I can't control that.
Yeah, come back next week.
Shoot, I think the first time I met Danté, he and I were like going back and forth about fucking Kyrie Elam before he was even in the draft. Like,
damn.
Yeah, I was right about that too. Sorry.
Listen, I'm gonna. Yo, man, this has been a blast, man. 500 episodes, and what great opportunities to hang out with some people that we love, man. Gridiron Apex, man. And thank you guys so much for what you guys have done. And, you know, like I said, man, y'all guys are the specialists when it comes to this football stuff. And I love you guys for it. And I'm glad that I've never forget that Wednesday afternoon, I said, I like these guys. I love this guy's channel. So let me type a little email to him. And sure enough, probably about during the afternoon of the day, I get an email play. I say, oh, okay, cool. Because, you know, because D-Dubs will tell you, we have reached out to some people and, you know, they just thought they was too, whatchamacallit. But you know what, how life does? Those same folks come back and write, hey, man, I see that you're growing. And, no, man, we good.
So like again, you know, sorry, I'm just gonna have to respectfully decline. Like it is what it is. You don't even gotta have a reason. You didn't have a reason to respond to me at first. I ain't got a reason to collaborate with you now. Like you can grow this thing with the people that are in your circle. And as soon as that circle starts growing, then everybody's gonna want to be a part of that circle that you like. That's why I appreciate you guys, because like once we get to that 20K or 30K, and you guys do the same thing, and people really start noticing, we still going to be doing the same thing that we did before. We're going to collaborate with anybody, whatever size that they are, because we want to have that conversation. But we also are going to remember the people that like, now we're big time.
Yeah.
Oh, now you want to spare time? Okay.
Oh, you stop growing, but I continue. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Not a change in tune, you little.
No, it's gonna be more like, now you want to block me on Twitter? Okay.
Yeah, right.
It's like the girl in high school that didn't want to give you a chance, and now she see you blow up.
Yep. Shout out to Red Feather Workshop. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you guys.
I was about to get real personal with that analogy, and I said, never mind.
I'm gonna let you guys have the last words, man, before we get on out of here. I'll start with Sora. What you got for us, bro?
Yeah, nothing much. I mean, again, thanks for having us on again. Congrats on 500 episodes. Here's to 500 more and many more after that. It was a good show, good night. Very much enjoyed it. And again, just thank y'all for having it on. And for both of our channels, we're going to continue just growing this thing.
No doubt. Appreciate that. Danté, what you got for us, bro?
Like I said, congrats, man, on 500. I know people don't know what it was like from episode 0 when you're in the planning stages to 500 now. So just always appreciate the grind. And then when you start seeing that number that you really want to see, you remember 500 episodes, and then you get to the 1,000 episodes when things really start popping off and you really start appreciating it. Because I couldn't even tell you, I don't know how many videos we posted on our channel. Somebody will say, hey, I remember that video you posted from 2 years ago. I'm like, I don't even remember us making a video. Right. Hey, share the link to the link. You know what I'm saying?
Let me see it.
But yeah, man, just keep growing. You know, I'll try to help out wherever I can, and you know, I try to tune in as much as possible, even if I'm not commenting. I don't know about all the sports, so, but I'm one of those ones that just don't feel like I'm. I don't really comment on anybody's stuff. I'll just lurk in the comments and make sure you get that view and that like, and I'll see what you guys are talking about. So, but yeah, definitely appreciate you guys, and you know, congrats again. Couldn't do this with more humble dudes. So you're one of the humble guys in the community as well.
Appreciate you, fellas. So, well, listen, on that note, thanks for all those that chimed in tonight in the chat. Appreciate those that are with Gridiron Apex and also the Sports Chasers. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you so much. So, listen, I ain't going to belabor the time. We've been out here for a little bit over 2 hours and almost 30 minutes, but it's okay because it's football. And it's what it is, man. It's what it is, man. So, listen, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin Owan, your host and moderator for Dow D-Dubs Warren, for the DA who had to go back to work, and for Dan K, the hockey boss, for Ryan D'Souza, for James Eric Warren, the angry one, and for Mike Mills, and for our guest tonight, Gridiron Apex, for Sora and Danté. Man, this is the Sports Chasers. Y'all be good, be great, be blessed. Hey, man, we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.
You've been locked in with Sports Chasers, where conversation doesn't follow trends, it follows the game. If you rock with the discussion, tap in, subscribe, and join the community that keeps sports real. Until next time, stay locked, stay sharp, and keep chasing sports the right way.